Why do so many people like working at the Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center?
The pay is awesome. What we do for our clients is awesome. The coworkers that we have, the staff, everybody is just, they're all welcoming.
I feel very supported. It's a great network of people that we have working here. We really work together, I think, to try to improve the lives of those that we serve.
The insurance is phenomenal. The cost is minimal. They're good to us. And the benefits are so great, you can't beat it.
Apply today.
We hope you point to Pettis. We provide the best service and the best price. We make sure we do what's right, make you a customer for life. We're locally owned, locally operated. When you need a truck, well, don't make it complicated. Just point to Pettis. We're here to answer every question. We got small town pride and a big time selection.
Do you often ask others to repeat themselves? Is the TV volume creeping up higher? Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Melton, and it could be time to have your hearing checked. Hearing loss happens gradually, making it hard to notice. At Hearing Care Partners, we offer thorough hearing evaluations that uncover even subtle changes in your hearing over time. Early detection can improve your hearing and your life. Start prioritizing your hearing today. Schedule your appointment now at hearingcarepartners.com. At Hearing Care Partners, we listen so you can hear.
Since 1941, Busenbark Flooring has been Southeast Missouri's trusted name in flooring. This family-owned business features top quality carpet, tile, and hardwood, along with countertops, kitchens, and bathrooms, all with expert installation. Need to haul it? Busenbark Trailer Sales has you covered. Come see the large selection of dump trailers, equipment haulers, goosenecks, livestock trailers, and more. Visit busenbarkflooring.com and busenbarktrailersales.com, or stop by and see everything at the Fairgrounds exit on Highway 67.
Life can feel like an uphill climb, but no one has to face it alone. Everest Counseling, based in Farmington, has been empowering individuals and families for over 20 years, offering support through life's toughest challenges. Specializing in at-risk youth and serving rural communities, the experienced and compassionate team provides the guidance and the tools necessary to thrive. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, trauma, family conflicts, or just need someone to talk to, Everest Counseling provides personalized services to meet your needs. Contact Everest Counseling today at 573-330-4452.
Well, just across the holler from the Missouri State Historic Mines, we've got two teams trying to dig deep tonight in the MAFC, looking for a conference victory. A good Friday evening to you on Parkland Sports Live, as we got the Central Rebels with a home ball game against the Fredericktown Blackcats. Two teams, I don't know if they're headed different directions, but they've gone different directions so far. The Rebels 2-0. They pulled one out of the fire last week at Jefferson. And for the Fredericktown Blackcats, 0-2. Trying to find some traction on offense. I'm Chad Speaker, and great tonight to be joined by Bob Stolzer, the Hall of Fame coach, Mike Reeves on the sideline, Jacob Towers, the incomparable engineer for us, and the excellent Wyatt Cawley on the camera. Mike Reeves, let's talk a little bit about last year's ball game at Fredericktown. That one went double overtime, and I think what maybe surprised and amazed us more than anything, it wasn't necessarily, as Charlie Weiss used to say, a decisive schematic advantage necessarily, but it was Fredericktown holding up to the physicality of the game, the strength and the athleticism of the game. They really matched Central in that respect and played them tooth and nail.
They did things that Fredericktown, honestly, Chad, against Central had not been doing in the recent years. And we know that there's the long winning streak for Central head-to-head. We got all that in place. However, normally when things would go south for Fredericktown, they went south in a hurry. And they dealt with adversity very well in that game. They were physically toe-to-toe with them. It was one of the more entertaining, I'm not going to say best games ever, because there were mistakes made in there. Okay, you get that. Entertainment-wise, though, I don't know if I've seen a more entertaining game in years than what we saw last year in that one. Now, if anybody's going to sit here tonight and say, well, can they reprise that? Let's do it again. I don't know that you could ever expect that to happen two times in a row, and I do know that right now Central is playing the better football of the two We'll see how it plays out tonight, but I do know that Steve Williams is very confident in his group, and he does believe on any given night when they play like they're capable that they can compete. And that's not always been the case in Fredericktown. We know that from recent years.
Kory Schweiss in his 21st year, 165 wins, 78 losses. He was recently determined that he'll be in the Hall of Fame. He's a state champion, much like my broadcast partner here in the booth, Bob Stolzer. And Coach Stolzer, when Kory Schweiss took over the Central program, he had to build something. That's where Steve Williams kind of finds himself right now.
Yes, I've kept track of Steve. He's one of my former players back in the days when I was at Cape Central, and Steve was a great guy, very good athlete in his playing days on the collegiate level as well and professional level, Major League Baseball. But Steve's one of these guys where, he could be standing out there in the middle of the field, middle of thunderstorm, a tornado come, and he'd say, "It's going to lighten up here shortly." I mean, very positive attitude, and I think that he's instilled his positive attitude in his kids. I think they're really building on that. Had an opportunity to talk with him before the ball game, and I'm aware of things. I'm friends with Steve on Facebook, and he's constantly posting what the Fredericktown Blackcats are doing, and anyhow, he does a lot with the whole team to develop that team camaraderie, that brotherhood that you need on any kind of team. And, I think the kids are really buying into it. And if he gets a little athleticism to go along with it, and, obviously the game that they had last year with Park Hills Central, a bet man probably would have certainly put all his money on Park Hills, which they eventually did come out of that game. But, the battle like Fredericktown did, stay in the game, take it in double overtime, it makes your kids believers. And I was talking to Kory before the ball game too, and being around this area as long as I have, being a coach or whatever, I remember there was a time when Park Hill Central was down. I mean, that was, I don't want to say counted as a gimme, but it was probably one of your weaker opponents that you had on your schedule.
You felt like you should win that game.
You should win that game. Well, Kory took over the helm, and he got PJ as his right-handed man, kind of like I had Bobby Weiler at St. Genevieve. And, they worked with those kids and did what they needed to do to build a good, sound program. Their kids bought into it. Taste a little bit of success, and kind of the rest is history, so to speak. And I see Steve Williams doing that right now, and you never know what to expect. And as far as what's going to happen tonight, I'm sure Steve was in there talking to his kids. Look what we did last year, guys. We played somebody that should have handled us, and we stayed right with them. So you never know what to expect in this game of high school football.
Coach Schweiss had a lot of quality teams, Coach, but they kept going up and banging their head in the first round against those St. Louis squads. And he said instead of blaming that, he actually changed his coaching philosophy. He said he went from an X's O-oriented coach to
them. So you never know what to expect in this game of high school football.
Coach Schweiss had a lot of quality teams, Coach, but they banging their head in the first round squads. He actually said oriented program went to the next.
Former brotherhood with the kids. I mean, you're always going to have your certain cliques. Your 5 or 6 kids are going to hang together on the weekends or whatever. When it comes to stepping on that football field, they're one big matzo ball of bodies. It's it's they play together, they play for one another, and that's what it takes. If you get a bunch of kids doing that, it's amazing what you can overcome sometimes.
Mike, in week 1, we kind of had October. It felt like football. Then last week, you had a few raindrops, but this is the first time we've gotten kind of that summer heat on a Friday night.
It is, and it's odd because had we had our normal early September, we would probably think tonight was a bit cooler because it's not stifling. The humidity levels are reasonable, but temperatures have been in the 90s for most of the day, in the upper 80s as we approach game time. And I think both coaches, I talked to them, it's something that they do need to keep an eye on because even though they practiced it this week, we haven't dealt with that so far this year. It's been fall-like weather until tonight, and it is by far standing down here with the teams because I can tell you it's a much warmer night than what we have had any of the first 2 weeks. And whether it'll be a factor or not, I guess we'll watch for it. Cramping's usually the first thing that you notice if it's going to be. Cramping's usually the first thing that you notice if it's going to be.
We want to thank you for listening into the Knuckleball Primetime pregame show through the Barn Media Network. Barn Media Group and Podcast Network, your one-stop destination for all things independent. Dirty Right Rear Podcast, Knuckleball Primetime, the Tippy Joe Show, Vulgar Display of Godcast, Mixed West Mixtapes, and Bible Time at the Barn and more. Something for everyone. Follow the Barn on all the socials and find the latest episode of your favorite show wherever you get your podcasts. Well, Coach, last week, these two teams combined for either 11 or 12 turnovers. For Central, it was at least 4 turnovers on the road, plus they turned it over on downs a few times. But Fredericktown turned the ball over 7 times. That can't be a recipe for an upset here tonight.
No, you turn the ball over 7 times a team. I don't care how bad or good they are. It's going to come back and bite you. Anyhow, and of course, talking to Kory before the game, like I told him, that's one of the things that happens. You work drills in practice with kids clawing at running backs as they go through like you talked about, a gauntlet that you practiced when you were playing. It just comes to, you got to protect the ball a little bit better, and you get in traffic, you're going to have to squeeze it and cover it up a little bit more. And unfortunately, those things do happen at times. I mean, nobody fumbles on purpose, but those things happen. And of course, nowadays, coaches teach their kids to hack and punch at the ball and try and strip it away from the ball carriers, which is going to cause a few more. But, for Fredericktown, that's way too many turnovers in a football game. And you play against somebody who's pretty decent or even as you, and you're going to end up in second place in a hurry if you give them that many gifts.
We had contributions in last year's game from a whole host of players up and down the roster, but Mike Reeves, it was the quarterbacks that really shined last year. We had a couple of great performances from Easton Wood, 202 yards passing, 119 on the ground, but Jackson Jones eventually willed his team to victory. He had 188 yards passing, 192 on the ground for 380 total and 6 touchdowns, and he's the guy that they finally said, doubled overtime, we're keeping it in your hands, and he put him over the top. So Fredericktown falls last year in double overtime, 42-34, the final score in that one. The captains are at the field right now. Central has their red jerseys and the red helmets with the Rebels on the side and the white pants. For Fredericktown, they'll work in their white uniforms with the black helmets and the black cats on the sides. Coming up right after our kickoff, we'll introduce you to the Capayas Heating and Cooling starting lineups. And our kickoff coming up here shortly. Last week, of course, we had that Central at Jefferson ball game. That went to overtime. 21-20, Central wins that one. In week 1 on the Parkland podcast and Parkland Sports Live, Farmington and the debut for Brent Eckley defeated North County 49-16 in that rivalry game. Next week, it'll be Greg Allen on the call along with Mike Reeves, and it'll be Jackson at Farmington, and it's not too early to promote that thing. That's where Brent Eckley won his state title. That's where he displayed some dominance over the SEMO North, and in particular Farmington, and now he'll be coaching against his Indians as the Farmington head man in year number 1. Central will receive this kickoff. They'll send Karis Foster back with August Black, and the Fredericktown Blackcats to kick it away. Carter Jordan, usually the kickoff guy. They've got a couple of different kickers. Carter Jordan is usually tasked with kicking off. Kevin Barton is usually tasked with the PATs, and if they want to do a field goal.
A couple of good ball carriers returning the ball for Central. That's kind of their 1-2 punch last week against Jefferson. Whenever Patterson went out, Foster kind of stepped in, did a very good job. I thought he's got some good wheels on him, but some dangerous return bodies back there.
August Black got injured. He was their usual running back, but they put Karis Foster in. Then they snuck August Black in overtime, and he caught the go-ahead touchdown pass that put him over the top to win the game. That was the equalizer, and they won on an extra point. That was the old Kory Schweiss special. He's got a bag about as deep as Santa Claus's, and he pulled out the old double pass.
I was laughing about the triple I.
Yeah.
Kory listened to the replay, and he said that I mentioned he's got a pass in that somewhere. And I told him, you've got that on your sleeve somewhere. He just laughed and winked at me a while ago.
August Black gets the kickoff. He's met at the 35, thrown down at the 36-yard line. And let's meet the Capayas Heating and Cooling starting lineups. Proudly serving St. Francis and surrounding counties, Capayas Heating and Cooling, founded in 2004 by Chuck Capayas with his wife, Chris. Sons, Chuck, Eric, and Brian, and daughter, Amy. Family-owned and operated company that you can trust to provide you with the best possible sales and service experience. They stand behind their work, committed to being here for generations to come. CapayasHeatingandCooling.com. You've got Brody Pigg, the quarterback, and he's a sophomore signal caller. He'll have August Black in the backfield with him, and Max Woods, Nick Fowler, Chad Cosby, and Brody Cole among the candidates at wide receiver. Chandler Liebarger moves back to center after Silas Richardson played there last week. It'll be Richardson and Bowers flanking him as the guards. Keegan Sherrill and Abel Mills are the tackles. We'll meet the Fredericktown defense coming up. Brody Pig marks it out. It's a 1st and 10 for Central, but before they get started, well, it is a delay a game. That'll cost them 5.
No, I was just about to comment too, Chad. You know, Central had some, questionable snaps last week, being it was that young man's first time at center. That first snap before the officials blew the whistle was right on the money. So
1st and 15, and Central quickly swings this over to Nick Fowler on the right side. He jitterbugs around a couple of would-be tacklers and gains 6 yards. So 1 pass, 1 completion for Brody Pig. Nick Fowler's got 6. Let's meet the starters on the defensive side on your Pius Heating and Cooling starting lineups. Maddock Nepper is the nose. The tackles Parker Oatman, Braylon Barnett, and Shane Snodgrass are the ends. In the middle of the defense, Jesse Lewis is the middle linebacker. Hunter Royer, Mason Proffer flank him. Terry Blakefield and Derek Irby are the corners. Connor McMinn and Caleb Feltz are in the safety spots. Second, and then they mark it as 10 to go as August Black gets it, takes it from the right to the left side, and a nice job by that Fredericktown defense, allowing only 3 yards right there as they gang tackle and hop on top. And good work by them. Hunter Royer in on the stop right there. So 3rd and long for the Central Rebels. Central setting up in kind of a half formation and all look over to the sideline. Now they'll put 1 wide receiver to the left side and 2 to the right. Brody Pig perhaps looking for another pass right here. They've gone 1 pass and 1 run so far. Nick Fowler goes in motion. They'll flood the left side with wide receivers and come back to the right. Ball in the air to Devin Graff. He hauls it in, and he's drugged down at the 15-yard line. A tremendous hookup and a gain of 46 yards for the Central Rebels.
Man, what a ball. The ball and catch. That looked like a Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon play.
Dropped it in the old proverbial barrel there.
Looks like more of a cup than he dropped that one in. What a catch.
A tight spot, you bet. So Central with a big gain of 46 yards on the completion to Devin Graff. His 2nd catch of the year, Coach, get this. He's got 1 for 56 and 1 for 46.
They need to throw it to him more often.
I guess they do. Nick Fowler wide to the right side. Snap is back to Pig. But a flag before the play commences. And as the referee looks up to the official booth here, he says it's going to be an illegal shift. So the 2nd penalty for Central on this drive.
Illegal motion against Central, 5-yard penalty.
And they'll go on a 1st and 15 here.
Hey, Chad, what I liked about that long reception, it was just a line up and run past the defender play. There's nothing fancy about it. It's not a great route. It's I'm faster and I can make the play. He got 1 step, dropped the ball in perfectly.
Devin Graff took off, got that step, and he was hit in stride. Pig keeps the ball this time, and just a yard gain coming up off the bottom of the pile. Some nice hitting there by Fredericktown and Bentley Klauser.
Fredtown's doing a very good job filling against the run right now. Their kids are really flying to the ball.
It brings up a 2nd. They say 15. I think I don't know, maybe gained a half yard there.
The way they're filling in on the ball, I might see a play action pass here.
We'll watch for that. Twins to the left. They'll motion Karis Foster. Give it to him on the jet sweep. He's got a block. He's to the 15. Cuts back. Dives forward. He's to the 12. So good game by Karis Foster of 8 yards and 3rd and much more manageable for the Central Rebels. So we talked about, Mike kind of alluded to the streak before in our Knuckleball Primetime pregame show. 17 in a row for the Central Rebels. There have been some scares, but they really have dominated this series. In fact, over those 17 games, Central has averaged 41.6 points. Fredericktown has averaged 10.4 points. And that includes the thriller last year. This penalty is going against Fredericktown.
Yeah.
First down for Central. R.E.
Give him a first down.
Got that personal foul zone. Caden Crump for a little extracurriculars after the play was over.
Thank you, Mike. Here's that capital T lineup. Karis Foster dots the I in the backfield, leans forward. He's got it down to the 1, gains 4 yards, call it 5, and they'll have a 2nd and goal from the 1 yard line. Couple of carries for Karis Foster. He's got 13 yards rushing, and Central's threatening here. They mark him at the 2. Foster dots the I in the backfield. They move Dakota Bowers, a lineman, as the fullback, August Black as the middle back, and Karis Foster deep in that capital I. Pig, the quarterback, keeps it himself, gets a nudge from behind, and the tush push is good for 6. Central on top, 6-0. The 2-yard touchdown plunge by Brody Pig, 8:20 remaining here in this first quarter of play, and a 6-0 lead for the Central Rebels. Well, the Rebels employed some power football coach, and they employed a deft passing game as well. They hooked up on a short one, hooked up on a long one.
They mixing it up very well. Like I mentioned before, the way Fredericktown's filling in on the run, stopping the run like that. We're going to see some play action for tonight's over with.
Devin Graff sends the extra point up and through. 7-0 Central. 8:20 remaining in the first quarter. Fredericktown gets its chance next after this timeout on Parkland Sports Live. Thanks for joining us on Parkland Sports Live here at Rebel Field in Park Hills. The Central Rebels leading the Fredericktown Blackcats 7-0. Just one drive in the ball game so far. Central took that one down and scored. So Fredericktown will get its first chance to see the ball. And then we'll have another round of our Capayas Heating and Cooling starting lineups. Here comes the kickoff by Evan Neff. It's a short one. Picked up at the 20-yard line. And quickly spun down. That was Zach Botbile. He can run once he gets an avenue to go through, but he was stopped before he ever got started that time. And, Coach, tell us about that touchdown drive by the Central Rebels that put them on top.
Well, they went, Chad, I believe it was 7-play drive, mixing a run and a pass. And, of course, the big pass play was that 46-yard bomb that they caught to set them up down inside the red zone. And anyhow, a few plays later, they found themselves on a quarterback sneak by Pig to go up 6, and the extra point was good, making it 7-0.
So Kason Whitener started the first 2 games for Fredericktown, but he was sick a couple of practices. Terry Brakefield isn't necessarily his backup. He sees the field anyway, but he'll get the start tonight. And Fredericktown will keep it between the tackles for the first snap of the game, and that's Zach Botbile going right through the middle for a 4-yard gain. What was your did you have a policy, Coach, or did you go more by feel? And I'll ask you after this play. Terry Brakefield hands it off once again. Botbile spins in the hole and gains 1 more yard. If a guy was sick or missed practice or something, did you have a policy, or did you just kind of go by feel on that?
Yeah, you go by feel. I mean, if a kid's sick like that, obviously you want him to get well, but very seldom. We had policies and unexcused had policies and unexcused absent, you got a little track work, and second one, you got a little bit more track work, and the third one, you got some help clean out your locker.
3rd and 3 for Fredericktown. And here's Terry Brakefield, spins the ball over to the left side and completes it to Derek Irby. Irby dodges around one would-be tackler and then a second, and he rips off a 10-yard gain. Nice little wiggle by Derek Irby right there. I like what Steve Williams did right there too, Coach, for his quarterback getting his first start. An easy completion right to the flat.
Yeah, and one of the things that Steve's been doing is mixing it up pass run. They're pretty balanced in the number of yardage they've gotten so far and the number of plays they've run. He tries to mix it up and make it play him honest.
Botbile with about 42 yards rushing per game, but he's a guy that if he gets loose, he can go a ways. Terry Brakefield rolls it over to the right side. It's going to be a QB keeper, And he's driven down just beyond the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4 for him. And jumping on top right there was Dakota Bowers. So his name, I say Terry Brakefield, and that sounds like his full name, because, of course, Terry sounds like a first name, but it is actually Blake Terry Brakefield. I guess I could call him BTB for short. A 5-yard gain there. And you've got Bob Isle behind the quarterback, who's back in the shotgun. Twin wide receivers to the left, a wing back off to the right. Bob Isle gets it up the middle, and it's a 4-yard gain. Fredericktown methodically moving the sticks. And Mike Reeves, you get our sideline view of all that. I know it's early on, but Fredericktown really stood up to the physical challenge last year, and so far, I don't know, their offensive line doing a pretty nice job.
Yes, and I like what I'm seeing from them, and it's very much like last year. Add to that, Chad, we talked about it a little bit before we started the broadcast. This isn't a team that's loaded with big numbers in terms of the offensive, defensive lines in the back. They're not 200-plus pounds all across the board. They're having to get every bit out of every ounce that they got.
Yeah, it's a good observation, Mike, because the offensive front five average weight gives up 30 pounds a man to the defensive front for the Central Rebels. So you kind of figure, well, Central maybe has the advantage in muscle, but right now Fredericktown offensive line doing a nice job. We'll step aside for just a moment. 7-0 Central, 5:41 remaining here in this first quarter of play, and Fredericktown moving the sticks. We're back after this on.
Why do so many people like working at the Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center?
The pay is awesome. What we do for our clients is awesome. The coworkers that we have, the staff, everybody is just, they're all welcoming.
I feel very supported. It's a great network of people that we have working here. We really work together, I think, to try to improve the lives of those that we serve.
The insurance is phenomenal. The cost is minimal. They're good to us. And the benefits are so great, you can't beat it.
Apply today.
Central calling for a timeout, and Coach, as we see Fredericktown moving the sticks on their end a little bit, Central calls a timeout, and you were telling me they detected something that Central, anyway, didn't like on that defensive lineup.
Well, obviously, Fredericktown saw something on the way Central plays defense, and they're attacking that, and they're having success running inside the tackles, as you said. So Central called a timeout and probably going to make some adjustments. We'll see here shortly if it's going to make any difference, as we got a third and less than 1.
The titular defensive coordinator for Central is P.J. Jones. He's been there for a long time doing it, but he's actually giving over the defensive play calls this year to Jamison Strange. And P.J. Jones and Kory Schweiss, who gave over his play calling duties, couldn't be happier with the way that their younger coaches are coming up and embracing that and the job they're doing here early on. 3rd and 1 for Fredericktown. And this time, Terry Brakefield doesn't have anybody in front of him. He'll keep it himself, and he's blown up. A late flag, though, comes in. One that's in that holding box is Keegan Sherrill. Gets up off the pile. One of the men to bring it. One of the men to bring him down. It'll be a loss of 2 if it stands. Fredericktown clapping, and so although we don't have the official indication yet, sure looks like it's going against the Rebels.
Yeah, personal face mask, I believe, Chad. Yes.
So Fredericktown moves the sticks again, this time with the assistance of the Rebels.
That was the bad kind of face mask. You've either got kind of a small inadvertent, your hand might get touching or whatever, you get a 5-yarder. That was a grab on and hold for dear life kind of face mask penalty.
5:36 and counting down of the first quarter. Fredericktown into Central territory for the first time. Terry Brakefield, the quarterback, has got Bob Bile just off of his left hip. If he's got one wide receiver to the right, one to the left, he's going to keep it, play it up the middle. He's to the 30-yard line, breaking down to the 26, and a nifty run by Terry Brakefield on a gain of 15 yards. Showed us a little burst right there.
He faked 2 different handoffs, and it looked like Central was really keen on shutting down those handoffs, and as soon as the sky opened up a little bit, the quarterback took off and made a great big gain.
The coach has always told me on that one, Coach, eye discipline. That's the term they always told me. Eric Krupe used to tell me about eye discipline and his great defenses. This is a counter, and Mason Proffer's got it. Runs through one arm tackle. and then pulled down at the 22-yard line. And a good tough run by Mason Proffer on a gain of 7 yards. Mason Proffer, another one of those fine athletes for this Blackcat team, the guy that they'll depend on to catch some balls as well. One wide to the right side. Fredericktown will put Caleb Feltz over to the right. And now they are thinking about throwing to him. It's a sidearm delivered to Botbile, and Botbile all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Ran a little bootleg, pulled the guard out there to block the end, and the quarterback had the option. He started to run, but before he got to the line of scrimmage, he pulled up and threw it and made another nice gain out of it.
And I beg your pardon, it was Caden Crump. It was number 9 rather than number 8. So Caden Crump with a nice grab. His 4th of the year, his first here tonight. And Fredericktown is in business now with a 1st and goal inside of the 6-yard line. That was a kind of a nifty sidearm delivery, too.
Yes, it wasn't your picture-perfect fundamental pass by a quarterback, but, hey, he got the job done.
And guys, from field level, Terry Brakefield has very much an elusiveness to him, and you got to honor everything that he might do, might run with it, might throw it. I think he's done a very good job, and Central's not real sure how to defend him just yet.
Yeah, he's got a little wiggle to him, doesn't he, Mike? A little wiggle, a little burst, and apparently he's got some different arm angles as well. Yeah. Now, the two quarterbacks, they actually say that Whitener, they feel like, is a little bit more developed as a passer, and Brakefield is the guy that they feel like maybe can run a little more. But Brakefield's shown he's got pretty nice touch on the ball, too.
Yes, he does, yes. Like I said, it's he drew the defense in. He saw him coming up and had an open receiver, so he just got him the ball, and good catch.
So timeout on the field by these 3:45. It's timeout by Fredericktown. 3:45 remaining in the first quarter, and it's a 7-0 advantage for the Central Rebels. And, Coach, you touched on this a little bit last week. Never really too early to look about how your district opponents are doing. Well, these two teams are in the same district.
Yes, and they could easily see one another down the road again.
It's a 7-team district, so if you're the top seed, you get that first-round bye. Right now, Central sits in the number 2 spot below Dexter. Fredericktown right now is in the cellar, so they're looking to climb. You've got Terry Brakefield as the quarterback. Botbile off of his right hip. They give us to Botbile. He's trying to skirt around that right tackle and can't do it. He's drugged down by Chad Cosby.
Looks like he lost about 1 or 2 on that play.
Botbile with 4 carries, 8 yards rushing right now. Brakefield with just 2 tries and 19 yards. He's thrown for 22 yards on this drive. And as you said, Coach Steve Williams striving for that balance, and they really have demonstrated. Yes. They've got some ability to do both. Caleb Feltz, wide to the left side. Got a tight end off to the right. This is Botbile behind the right tackle. Tucks in inside of the 5-yard line, trying to push and shove. Near the 3, but flags on the play. It was in that holding box, and that's the call.
Yes.
I've got to think. I know this is kind of Kory Schweiss ball, melt the clock, run the ball sometimes. Of course, he does a lot of different things, but that's classic Kory Schweiss. But I've got to feel like, Coach, if Fredericktown can limit the turnovers, basically not turn it over, and can melt the clock, that's probably going to be better. That's going to improve their chances, I would think.
Plus get the ball in the end zone after these long drives that they're currently on right now. They kind of shot themselves in the foot there on that holding penalty, though.
Yeah, got to come up with those points. Here's Feltz, wide to the left. One wide receiver, wide to the right side. That's Crump. And a laser beam intended for Feltz. Just a little bit low, in and out of his hands. Nick Fowler did a nice job on the coverage. Feltz can run it. He's one of the faster guys on the team, but Kory Schweiss thinks maybe the strength of his ball club is the defensive secondary. He loves them. August Black, Karis Foster, Brady Schweiss, Nick Fowler. He says not only do they cover, they'll come up and thump you.
Yes, they really flew to the ball. Saw some real good hits against Jefferson last week from the secondary coming up. They're not afraid to hit.
So neither was Jefferson, were they?
No.
I was impressed with them. 3rd and goal from the 17-yard line for Fredericktown. Terry Brakefield hands it off. They want to go with the halfback pass, and this one is entered. Oh, no. I thought it was intercepted initially, and they say that Cosby, I guess, came down on the line. How close were you to that one, Mike?
He absolutely came down on the line. As a matter of fact, he didn't come down on it. When he caught it, the toes were already 6 inches onto the line. So it was the call was the right one. He was right there to be able to pick it off, but the feet were never inbounds. He caught it with both out of bounds, and the call official couldn't have been more on top of it. It happened seriously a foot and a half from him. He was right on top of it to make the call.
Sometimes it's hard for those halfbacks if they get a chance to actually throw the ball, to throw it away, because they want that's their chance.
They put a little bit too much mustard on. Be interesting to see what Fredericktown does here. Their kicker was doing a good job in pregame kicking field goals, so they might be satisfied with trying from 3 from here. They've got, let's see, where is the ball? On about the 16, 17-yard line?
It'd be about a 33, 34-yarder.
Yes.
Now, they have 2 kickers. They have their kickoff guy, and Carter Jordan, they say, has a stronger leg. But their other guy, Kevin Barton, they say he has a more accurate leg. So this is kind of that middle distance, maybe.
Yeah. Well, they both were kicking the ball pretty far in warm-ups that I noticed, so interesting to see.
I don't know how close you are to the huddle down there, Mike. Can you tell what they're going to do?
All intention is to go out and try to score 6 here and not attempt the 3. I'm kind of keeping an eye on them and listening to them as they go out. I think that the consensus is this distance is a bit much to ask for. Yeah, a bit much to ask for on a field goal distance of 33 to 34 yards.
Yeah, their guy last year, DJ Baca, boy, he had a terrific leg. So they'll set up to go for it here on a 4th and goal from the 17-yard line. Blake Terry Brakefield is the quarterback. He deploys 3 wide receivers to the left side and 1 man crump off to the right. Barks it out on the long count. Here's the snap, rolls it to the left, looks over the middle on a flag route. He's under pressure, fires to the end zone, and into the back line. This one goes incomplete, and the Central defense is held. And Coach Stolzer, like you alluded to, if you get a goal-to-go situation, especially Fredericktown, and when you're kind of looking for that upset, you got to come away with some points.
You've got to do so. I mean, I agree with Steve on trying to settle for 3, go for 6, because you got to do what you got to do in order if you want to try and come out in this ball game as a winner.
It was that holding penalty that set him back, really. Moved the
mistake.
Yeah, a mistake. Twins to the right, man to the left, and August Black is the running back for Central and Brody Pigg. 1st and 10 for Central from their own 17-yard line. Brigg barking it out. Karis Foster goes to the right side. They'll flood it. Dub it off. August Black. Black picks up a block, and now he's to the 20, now to the 30, and driven out of bounds by Terry Blake Brakefield. Good hit that time by Blake Terry Brakefield. It'll be a first down and a gain of 13. Pigg to Black. 65 yards passing here early on for Brody Pigg. And what a weapon out of the backfield. As you can flip it to August Black. He played more of that slot position last year, so he's used to catching the ball. Now he plays that running back spot, but terrific weapon if you can get him out in space.
Oh, yeah.
1st and 10 for the Rebels. They've got it at their 32. Twins to each side. Black's the running back. Pigg gets it, takes it up the gut. Off tackle left side, slams it ahead. 8-yard gain. Tackled by Connor McMinn for Fredericktown.
Little quick pitch counter the way it looked. It looked like they faked a quick pitch to the right, and he countered back to the left side.
In fact, it's a gain of 10. They'll move the sticks.
So Central's getting yardage in big chunks right now.
1 minute and 33 seconds remaining here in our first quarter. Central on top, 7-0. Pigg barks it out, claps his hands, fires to the right side. Pass complete to Nick Fowler. Nick Fowler dancing along the near sideline, keeps pushing, keeps shoving. He had only a sliver to run through, and he gained 16 yards. What a great job by Fowler.
This little soft pitch and catch there, and Fowler did a great job getting up the sideline with the ball. He had some good, decent blocking from his receiver teammates on the edge there.
1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 7-0 lead for Central. They're mixing the pass and the run. 2 to the left and 2 to the right side. Pig barks it out. And once again, it's that QB keeper. Pig tries to take it to the left. And he's met there by Mason Proffer, who turns him back inside and hauls him down after a 2-yard gain. 4 carries for Pig. He's got 16 yards running. He's got 81 passing.
He just kind of followed Pig up to the left side there in a quarterback ice and picked up a couple for Fredericktown, converged on him.
2nd and 8. And Central working from the Fredericktown 40-yard line. 52 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Twins to the left, twins to the right. And here's an outside hitch route complete to Brody Cole. He takes that curl and brings it up the field and gains 10 yards, and Central will move the sticks again. So Cole with a pair of grabs. He's got a 46-yarder and now a 10-yarder. And 91 yards passing here in the first quarter for Brody Pig. Well done. Pig came in with 208 passing on the season, so he averaged 143 per. Probably the final play, barring a penalty, coming up here in the first quarter of play. 23 seconds left in the first frame. Central with a 1st and 10 at the Fredericktown 31-yard line. Pig back in the gun. Keeps it. Takes it through the guards. Tries to shove his way forward. A good gainer for him. And he's got 5 yards. 5 seconds remaining here in the first frame. Central will not be able to get off another snap, but they're pushing it deep into Fredericktown territory. It'll be a 2nd and 5 for Central from the Fredericktown 26-yard line. When we come back for your second quarter to play after 1, it's Central 7, Fredericktown nothing on Parkland Sports Live.
When comfort matters, count on Capayas Heating and Cooling. Proudly serving St. Francis and surrounding counties, they are your local Bryant Factory authorized dealer, delivering top-quality heating and cooling solutions for your home or business. Founded in 2004 by Chuck Capayas, a family-owned and operated company that you can trust. Visit capayasheatingandcooling.com today. Capayas Heating and Cooling in Farmington, 756-1224.
A 7-0 lead for the Central Rebels, and they're threatening again to start the second quarter of play. Thanks for joining us on Parkland Sports Live, and thank you so much to our sponsors. They include Busenbark Flooring and Trailer Sales, Hearing Care Partners, Everest Counseling, and Nuvo Athletic. Central in the red jerseys tonight, and Fredericktown in the all whites. It was a thriller last year that went double overtime. Central won it 42-34. To make it 17 straight over Fredericktown. And the Blackcats trying to build something under the second year of Steve Williams. Brody Pig brings the troops out for Central. Karis Foster, Brody Cole wide to the left side. You've got Nick Fowler and Devin Graff off to the right. August Black just off the right hip of his quarterback, Brody Pig, in the backfield. They'll run motion with Cole left to the right side and a whistle to stop the play. Somebody jump early there? Did you see?
I didn't see anybody jump early.
I didn't either.
Watch and see what the referee signals.
The two teams jogging to their respective sidelines. And the referees call a timeout. Throughout the game, we'll be looking for those tremendous performances, of course. We'll be looking for the Domino's Pizza player of the game. And we'll be looking for the Pettis Automotive player to point to. We'll tell you more about that as we move along. Parkland Sports Live, an offshoot, of course, of the Parkland Podcast. Jason Lowry, Mark Toady bringing you the Parkland Podcast live every Saturday morning on Facebook and YouTube. Local news, events, sports, interviews with local news makers. If it's happening in the Parkland, you'll hear about it on the Parkland Podcast, live every Saturday morning and available to stream or download wherever you get your podcasts. So 2nd and 5 for the Central Rebels. We got 2 to the left and 2 to the right. Brody Cole, the motion man, to the right side, so 3 wides over there. And another flag. Having trouble getting this one underway.
I don't know if there was a flag a while ago. The only thing I could figure, a legal procedure against Central on that one, the only thing I could figure about the time before that was maybe the proper amount of time hadn't expired in the quarter, and both teams eager to go at it. Because I didn't see wasn't anything penalized.
Guys, I was talking to some of the folks down here on the Central sideline. Right now, they've got one timeout remaining for Central on the board. Didn't they only use one in the first quarter?
Okay. So
but the officials never signaled timeout.
Yeah.
They never showed it, but that may have been a Rebel timeout to start the second.
Must have been it, Mike. Good call. Thanks for the report. Brody Pig gets across the line of scrimmage, gains a pair, and then swallowed up right there. Embraced by Connor McMinn, helping up from that strong safety spot. Gain of 4 for Pig. He's got 25 yards rushing, 91 through the air. In the second quarter of play, finally time ticking off after he had trouble getting that play started. Twins to the right, twins to the left. Karis Foster motioning to the right side. They're going to gauge that defense to see if they're playing man or zone. Brody Cole is left on the island to the left side. They swing it out to Karis Foster. Karis Foster with a stop-and-go jog and gets down near the 20-yard line on a gain of 7.
Could be very close to first down. I believe he's probably got it. It depends on where they mark him out of bounds.
There they go.
Yep.
First down for Central.
He's got that burst.
Yes.
Karis Foster, he kind of tippy-toed and then wham, he's gone.
He's got that type of ability to take a step and go in full speed.
Trips to the right this time for Brody Pig. Foster, the wingback, off to the right side. You got August Black as the running back. He gets it and buried. Tremendous job by Fredericktown that time. And another terrific play by that safety, Connor McMinn, and Parker Oatman along that line, coming together to make that play. That's as stern as Fredericktown has gotten along that defensive front. No gain by Black. Black's got 2 carries and just 2 yards so far. A 3rd and 10 for Central. 10:45 and counting down in the second quarter. Karis Foster in the near slot. Wide receiver Brody Cole to the left. You've got twins to the right side. Black off the left hip of his quarterback, the running back there. And a quick pass on an out route to Karis Foster. He's hit once, stays on his feet, twice, 3 times. The 4th one will bring him down. They were swarming and taking shots, and they finally got him to fall.
He'd bounce off of one, and somebody else would come up and get their hands on him. You break that, but eventually there's too many fellers got to him.
So it was a swing pass to Karis Foster for a -1. And a 3rd and 11 here for Central. Graf showed us he had a good enough leg last week to hit it from here. He was a little wide left, but he had the distance on it last week at Jefferson to try to win that thing in regulation. Pig with the quarterback keeper off the right tackle, and by running the ball there, that's got to be a pretty good tip. You're going to go for it on 4th, right?
Well, it's just he might have been setting the ball up in the middle of the field to see if Kory sends his kicking unit out.
Gain of 3.
We got a timeout here.
Timeout here, yeah. Step aside with them. 9:42 remaining in the second quarter. Central 7, Fredericktown nothing. A 4th down coming up for the Rebels right after this on Parkland Sports Live. Well, timeout on a little bit of a steamy night, 88 degrees at kickoff, and you're not sweating at all, of course, because you're in the prime of life.
Cool. I'm cool, Chad.
You getting a little breeze? You getting a little breeze down there, Mike?
Yeah,
There's nothing down here. It's still the little breeze that we had pregame is gone.
Well, I guess that answers that question, Mike. I was thinking about coming down and joining you at second half, but I guess I'll stay up here and swelter with Chad.
So you're hanging out right at the sideline. They're going to kick it or go for it here?
I think the first thing we want to do is make sure Dakota Bowers is okay. It's a right knee that
Gotcha.
they're looking at, and I don't know that they have seriously. They wanted to take care of that first before they decide what to do, because I think they're going to go for it based on all the indications I'm looking at. Now, if they rush the kicker out there, then so be it. We do know, as you said, Chad, he can hit from the distance. That's not the problem. He had distance last week on the miss. But Bowers here is working his way towards the sideline. He's walking on his own, but not putting a whole lot of weight on that knee.
You lose a lot of guys when you lose Bowers. He plays line, he plays fullback, and he plays linebacker for them. 4th and 8 for Central. One wide to the right. They've got a bunch formation to the right. Foster off to the left. August Black going to try to protect, and then the throw back is to Foster. Foster tackled at the 8-yard line. I beg your pardon. That was Nick Fowler. Tackled to the 8-yard line, and Central got just enough. They got 12 and moved the sticks.
Wow. Needed 11 and a half, they got 12.
Well done by those Rebels. Schemed it up well. And 109 passing yards already for Brody Pigg. They like Fowler as a receiver. Love his hands, love his toughness. 5'11", 175 junior. Foster, the wide receiver to the left. Twins off to the right side. And a man at the wingback position. They'll give it to Black. Black off tackle right side. He dives inside. Good hit at the line of scrimmage by Fredericktown.
Fredericktown's left side defensive end really crashed and hit him first, and the linebacker was sitting there in the hole waiting for him to team up with on tackle. He might have gained a yard at the most, but he paid dearly for it.
Tell you what, we're seeing Connor McMinn come up from that safety spot too and belt people. He's in a lot of that run-stopping effort. Second and goal for Central, and they work from the 7-yard line. Picked up a 4th and 8 just moments ago, or a 4th and 11, I beg your pardon, after a loss earlier, and now they'll go with that capital I set. They've got a new fullback out there as they go to Karis Foster. Foster, oh, mercy, Foster just danced through the hole, gave a jitterbug, made 2 men miss, and then bolted to the left side for the touchdown. Tremendous run by Karis Foster, and let's see it one more time.
Extra point over number 4, Nevin Graff. Holding is number 30, Nick Fowler.
Just kind of double team and power blocking at front, and he cut to the backside and just made a heck of a run. Broke some tackles.
Devin Graff for the extra point, sends it up and through, and Central leads 14-0. A big 4th down pickup, and Central is able to capitalize with the touchdown 3 plays later. 8:09 remaining here in the second quarter. 14-0 Central. Back on the other side of this timeout on Parkland Sports Live.
Do you often ask others to repeat themselves? Is the TV volume creeping up higher? Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Melton, and it could be time to have your hearing checked. Hearing loss happens gradually, making it hard to notice. At Hearing Care Partners, we offer thorough hearing evaluations that uncover even subtle changes in your hearing over time. Early detection can improve your hearing and your life. Start prioritizing your hearing today. Schedule your appointment now at hearingcarepartners.com. At Hearing Care Partners, we listen so you can hear.
The Central Rebels on top, 14-0, 8:09 remaining here in this first half of play. Stepping back to receive the kickoff is Blake Terry Brakefield. They asked old BTB to do quite a few things for them. He's been their starting quarterback tonight. He does a good job as a cornerback on defense, and he's out there getting ready to return the kick as well. He's one of the deep men. Botbile the other one. And the kick is off to the left and bouncing out of bounds. So Fredericktown will get good field position. What did that touchdown drive look like, Coach, for the Central Rebels?
I'll tell you what. Fredericktown's only had one possession this whole ball game yet, and we're already, deep in the second quarter. Anyhow, on that scoring drive, looked like Central went 14 plays from their own 17-yard line, so they went 83 yards in 17 plays, mixing the passing with the run. They probably made their biggest chunks on throwing the ball, especially on that 4th down play. Anyhow, they hit pay dirt. Just like Mike alluded to in the timeout, he's down there in the field. He said he saw several arm tackles trying to tackle Foster as he went in the end zone.
Foster did a little bit of a disappearing act there.
Yes, he did. I thought he was stopped. The next thing you knew, you see a number 11 dancing to the end zone.
7-yard plunge by Foster. Fredericktown football. Fredericktown, as you said, Coach, has only had one possession. But I believe they did have 10 plays, and they were definitely able to move the ball as Botbile gets it off tackle left side and gains just a pair. 5 carries for Botbile. He's got 10 yards. Kind of a fun name. Botbile. Botbyl.
Chad, I really think that if you had any more kids, that might be their name. You seem to be stuck on that.
It's a good one. So 2nd and 9. Blake Terry Brakefield, the quarterback. They'll try Botbile off to the right side this time.
Okay.
And they blocked it up pretty well. He got out to the 41-yard line on a gain of 5. It's one of the better holes he's seen today.
Either that or probably chances are you're not having more kids, but you can always get a pet and name them that, Chad.
Fredericktown hurries to the line this time.
They stopped. Be interesting, they ran 3 plays and they still come up 4 yards short, Are they going to roll the dice and gamble on picking up a first down, or are they going to punt it away?
Oh, mercy. You don't have to make those decisions anymore, do you?
No.
Did you have a 4th down philosophy? I mean, would you ever go for it on your end?
We always went for it.
Did you? Yeah.
No, it's everything plays in the figure there. Do you have the play to do it? How's your defense doing? Can you punt it away and hold them?
Well, Fredericktown is going for it. It's a play-action fake and then a quick pop pass over to the left side. And it is caught by Feltz, but it's caught for a loss of a yard. And Fredericktown will turn it over on downs.
A lot of things go into play, obviously, Chad. Again, there, it's, how was your defense playing? You punt the ball deep. Can they hold them there and get the ball back in better field position where you're at? And at this point of the game, you're down 14-0.
Steve Williams has also got to be telling himself, doesn't he, Coach? I don't know how many times we're getting the ball. Central's controlled this clock.
Central just keeps it away from them big time.
1st and 10 for the Rebels. They've got it at the Fredericktown 40-yard line. Pig swings it over to the left side to Karis Foster, and Foster has a man right on top of him. That's Connor McMinn again. I swear there are 5 or 6 number 23s out there for Fredericktown. He's been everywhere.
Hey, guys, a quick update on Central's Dakota Bowers. They're not working on that knee per se, but they're also not indicating that he's going to get back in there anytime. He's basically been sitting, watching the game, cheering on his opponents, but he stayed on the bench. He's not up on the line where everybody else is. They've been talking to him, but as far as getting him back anytime soon, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Well, we certainly hope for the best for that young man. Important part of this club. Timeout. I think this is a water break timeout by the officials. 5:59 remaining in the second. 14-0 Central on top. And they've got the football in Fredericktown territory as the Rebels will try another drive. We're back after this timeout on Parkland Sports Live.
Since 1941, Busenbark Flooring has been Southeast Missouri's trusted name in flooring. This family-owned business features top-quality carpet, tile, and hardwood, along with countertops, kitchens, and bathrooms, all with expert installation. Need to haul it? Busenbark Trailer Sales has you covered. Come see the large selection of dump trailers, equipment haulers, goosenecks, livestock trailers, and more. Visit busenbarkflooring.com and busenbarktrailersales.com, or stop by and see everything at the Fairgrounds exit on Highway 67.
14-0 Central leading Fredericktown, 5:59 remaining before the half. At the half, we'll have your Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center halftime show. Break down the stats, talk about some adjustments, and Mike Reeves will be joined by the coaches as well. Kory Schweiss and, of course, Steve Williams. This is a 2nd and 10 for Central. Pig swings it over to the right side. It's Nick Fowler trying to get a block out in front of him, and he dives forward for an 8-yard gain.
Okay, that there, they threw it to the twin side. Well, they were in double twins that time. The outside man ran a go, and the inside man just ran a quick out about 5 yards or whatever and threw it to him. Fredtown's given a little bit of cushion, anyhow, so that enables a good, nice backyard pass and catch.
And as soon as Fowler had it, Nick Graff did a nice job turning into a blocker right there.
Yes.
To help him along the sideline. 3rd and just a yard. August Black caught in the backfield, tries to struggle forward on an extra effort, dives, it looks like, just inside the 30. In his first initial effort, he was not going to get a first down. With the second effort, he will, and a gain of 2. 4 carries for August Black, and he's not. Fredericktown has really done a pretty nice job on him. 4 carries and only 5 yards.
Yes, I've been last week very impressed with his running abilities, and Fredericktown's kind of kept him in check all night long.
Through the first 2 weeks, August Black, coach, averaging 8.4 yards a carry.
Yes.
There's a 1st and 10 for Central. They've got it at the 30-yard line now of Fredericktown. It'll be a jet sweep to Nick Fowler. Nick Fowler looking for a little soft spot, kind of winds and weaves, and he's down to the 26.
Fredericktown almost had him in the backfield. They got a guy through there right about the time the handoff was made, and like Mike said before, arm tackles don't get the job done. The kid broke through the arm tackle and was able to pick up a few yards in.
5 minutes and counting down in the second quarter, 14-0. Central leading in this, low possession game in this one. I remember when Central played a playoff game a few years back, they soaked up more than an entire quarter on a drive. That was a classic. Here's a quick pass out to Karis Foster. Karis Foster at the 20 picks up a block, drives his legs, and he's down to the 12-yard line. Or I beg your pardon, the 16. Down to the 16-yard line. That's a gain of 10. 4 catches for Foster. He's got 16 yards receiving and 127 yards for Brody Pigg already in this one.
Foster showed a little bit of strength then as he got into some contact and pushed people out of the way.
Foster, 5'9", 170-pound junior. Twins to the right, twins to the left side. August Black, the running back, behind the quarterback Pigg. Pigg hands it off to him. Black trying to find a little hole, but nothing this time. Fredericktown got tough. Nice play by Braylon Barnett.
Black has been averaging about 130 yards his first 2 games rushing the ball, I think. And, you'll tell us at halftime what he's got, which is not a big stat night for him so far.
Yep, averages 143 per game. 4 carries with that one, 5 carries and 7 yards. So they've been really tough to come by. 2nd and 10. Twins to each side. Got a man on a wing off to the left. Pigg going to run the keeper. Ducks into the middle. Now takes it to the outside. Found a little seam. Picked up a good 4 yards. But it'll be a hold against Central, and they'll move backwards. 5 penalties for Central for 40 yards. We've seen a few penalties, but, Coach, both teams have cleared up those turnovers in this one so far.
It's been a clean football game other than a couple of, mistake penalties or whatever.
3:45 remaining in the second quarter. A 14-0 advantage for Central. Central was in that red zone once again, but now they're back to the 27 on a 2nd and 20. Pigg claps it, barks it, puts a man in motion, and the jet sweep to Fowler once again. Instead of taking it around the left end this time, Fowler tried to plunge into the middle of the line, and a whole host of Blackcats were waiting for him right there. Shane Snodgrass and company, and Jesse Lewis put another flag on the play.
Exactly, got a face mask penalty, so they're going to get their 10 back plus 5 more.
It'll be a costly one for Fredericktown.
It's just, those are playing happening things. I mean, Fredericktown's doing a good job swarming to the ball and trying to get a piece of the runner, and inadvertently you grab a hold of the face mask sometimes and trying to get a
Okay, so they just called the 5-yard variety.
5-yarder,
yeah.
Okay, 5-yarder.
I was expecting the same thing you were. Twins to the right, twins to the left. August Black, the single setback on a 2nd and 14. Pigg turned to his right to throw that little swing again, and Connor McMinn had jumped the route from the safety spot, and Pigg just did everything he could not to throw it in that alley and managed to throw. A good job throwing an incompletion there. I've been impressed with Connor McMinn. 5'7" and 140 pounds. This kid must play with rocks in his pockets, though.
He's a toughie.
Trips to the right for Central. We've got a 3rd and 14. And one man wide to the left side. Brody Cole's on the island right there. They'll look for the screen pass. Off to the left side, and it is thumped Great play by Fredericktown. Can we watch that one again? Nope, not that time. Great play, though.
That was Hunter Royer coming up to make that tackle, and it was a terrific read of the play.
Great job right there on that screen. A loss of a pair.
Fredericktown's saying we've given them enough here. We want a chance to do something offensively before the end of the quarter. Anyhow,
Mike, thanks for spotting Hunter Royer right there. Hunter's had a very nice early season, averaging 8 tackles a game. Brought the pads that time. 3 minutes remaining in the first half. 14-0, and Central has a long way to go. It'll be a 4th and 19 here. Pig looking to the left side. It's going to be an out and up, throwing it near the end zone, complete to Brady Cole, who's down to the 3-yard line. What a play by Central and a gain of 23 yards. They're going to hurry and get to the line of scrimmage right there, but a tremendous catch by Cole. Cole's putting together a pretty good first half. 150 yards passing already for Brody Pig. And Cole has caught 3 balls for 89 yards already. They go to that Maryland I and give it off to Karis Foster. And Foster bounces off one man and then into the end zone. A 3-yard touchdown run by Karis Foster. Now let's get another look at that touchdown run by Foster from 3 yards out.
they did the same thing again, I believe, Chad. He started to the right and just a power run, and he cut back to the left side and kept his legs moving and dove to the end zone.
Very similar to that last. In fact, Coach, the last time he touched the ball was a touchdown.
Yes.
He has consecutive runs
They
for
need to
touchdowns.
give it to him more often, I guess.
There you go.
Fumbled PAT snap.
The PAT is blown up, but it was thrown off of its rhythm. I think a Fredericktown guy jumped. I think Central might have another chance unless they were drawn off.
Central's coming off the field, so obviously it must be against Central.
I think Central's going to go for two here, Coach.
Unless it is against Fredericktown and move to the 1.5 yard line.
And he put his offense back in instead of his special teams.
Are they going to give it to Foster again, you think, Chad?
Might be a good idea, right?
Yes, he's done pretty good down inside the 5.
You've gotten points 2 out of the last 4 times that he has touched it in this ball game. They'll go with that capital I formation. Pig the quarterback, and Foster is the I in the backfield. Instead, they just keep it with Pig and put 2 more on the board. And the extra point try. So Central 22, Fredericktown nothing. 2:21 remaining in the first half. And we're back to your kickoff after this on Parkland Sports Live.
Looking for top quality custom sportswear and activewear? Look no further than Nouveau Athletic. Nouveau Athletic blends innovative design with affordability, revolutionizing activewear for athletes, teams, and enthusiasts alike. From affordable, high-quality team practice wear to specialty sublimated activewear, Nouveau Athletic has grown to become a leader in sportswear and the industry, especially in cheer. Nouveau Athletic, where passion meets quality in every stitch.
For Nouveau Athletic custom apparel locally, contact Tia Cunningham at 573-701-6015.
That's Central Rebels 22, Fredericktown nothing, 2:21 remaining in our first half of play. Karis Foster scoring touchdowns on back-to-back carries for Central, but it was really a 23-yard passing play. Brody Pig to Brody Cole to set the thing up.
Chad, if you're just looking at score of this game only, and that's all you're looking at, you go, well, it's pretty lopsided. There have been 3 massive plays in this game. The long third down conversion that went for 46 in the first quarter, 2 fourth down conversions, 4th and long, each of those part of a scoring drive. Any of those don't connect. This game looks a whole lot different than 22-0. It's been 3 really important plays right there.
Yes, the big play has definitely hurt Fredericktown, obviously.
Neff boots it back to Terry Brakefield. And he squirrels his way between 2 tacklers, outruns another one. He's to midfield now and looking for more. To the opposite 40 and run out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Great work by Brakefield, a guy with heavy usage. We were just taking a look at that last touchdown drive, Coach, and just the number of plays that have been run in this game, a huge disparity in favor of Central.
Well, Fredericktown's run, I think, 14 plays the first half against about 32 for Central, and Our offense isn't going to do anything if you don't have the ball. They're going to have to stop Central and get the ball back and sustain some drives on their own. But unfortunately, our thing for Central, what's getting them, like Mike just alluded to, they've had some big plays, and in between those big plays, they've driven the ball. But when it comes down to it, how many times on fourth down did they make those plays?
A terrific return by Blake Terry Brakefield, but at least a portion of it is going to be nullified on a return infraction against Fredericktown. Is that a substitution infraction?
I'm not familiar with that. I hate to say.
That's a weird call. Boy.
The legal substitution, maybe they might have had too many players on the field.
I don't know if I've ever seen that on a kickoff.
A lot of times somebody who might have subbed for somebody thought they were supposed to be in there. And
Fredericktown had a chance to start at the Central 38-yard line. And instead they'll start at their own 25.
Wow.
That's a long way to go. That's a lot of difference to make up.
Yes.
So we thought, and Coach said we would probably see Kason Whitener at some point tonight. But you know what? I know that the Blackcats haven't scored, but Blake Terry Brakefield has shown that he can do some things, though.
Yes.
2:09 remaining in the first half. 22-0. Central leads. Fredericktown looking for its first score, and they'll run a man on to the field late here. They just got caught with a substitution infraction. Now they've got their personnel, and Kason Whitener is out there. So we do have a new quarterback, as we thought we might at some point. Whitener spins at the 25 and driven down. No gain on the play. And Central is right there at the line of scrimmage to meet him.
I don't think it's so much what either quarterback has done or hasn't done. It's just Central's defense is rising to the occasion and shutting everything down.
So both quarterbacks are actually on the field. You've got Whitener. He slings it out on a curl route, and this one is picked off by Central. What a grab. Nick Fowler simply ran the route better than the wide receiver did that time. Tremendous job by Fowler to pick that off. He read that curl route and jumped it hard.
Heck of a catch by him.
That's what plagued Fredericktown last week. And in fact, really plagued Central last week as well. But it's the time of the game too, Coach. 1:40. If you just put a couple first downs together, Central never gets the ball back.
Give them momentum coming back. I think Fredericktown gets the ball the second half.
So the Rebels have it at the Fredericktown 30-yard line with just 1:40 left. So Central working in plus territory. Here's a bomb thrown down the right side. And this one is caught for a touchdown against man-to-man coverage. Devin Graff just held onto it. A 30-yard strike. And Central, after the turnover, goes for the jugular. Let's check this one out again.
Getting motion away from where they're going to throw the ball. He looks off. He just throws it on a go down the field. Made a heck of a catch. Fredericktown had it well covered, but the Central kid made a heck of a catch and hung on to it.
Against the double team, Devin Graff hauls it in, and then he gets on the field for the extra point, and he sends that one up and in as well. So Devin Graff's first catch of the ball game. It's a 30-yard touchdown as Pig put it right on him in between a double team. And one play after the turnover, the Rebels are back in the end zone. 29-0. Central leading Fredericktown. 1:31 remaining in the first half. Your kickoff on the other side of this timeout on Parkland Sports Live.
Wow.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
We'll hear from Kory Schweiss as the teams come off the field. Coming up in just about a minute and a half on our Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center halftime show. And the play call by Jake Bridges, I'm sure that Kory Schweiss will be very pleased with that when we ask him about that one. First play of that drive after the turnover and a perfect pass and catch. Brody Pigg to Brody Cole. It's the Brody touchdown. The kickoff is long. And once again, it's to Terry Brakefield. Got a nice return earlier. Brings this one out across the 35-yard line. So Kason Whitener came in to throw the ball a little bit, and on his second try, it was picked off by Nick Fowler on the last drive. 1:25 remaining in the first half. 29-0 Central leads. And let's see who will play quarterback. I believe it's going to be Kason Whitener again. When Whitener plays quarterback, they like to use Terry Brakefield as a flanker. Yeah, he's such a good athlete. You don't want to take him off the field. But this time he'll go back to quarterback. So BTB is back at quarterback now. He slings this one over to the left side. Pass intended for Derek Irby, but he couldn't hold on. We've seen actually 3 players throw a pass for the Fredericktown in this ball game so far.
Yeah, both quarterback
Proffer tried
and
one.
running back.
Proffer nearly threw an interception when he tried earlier. Yeah. Whitener and then, of course, Terry Brakefield. Minute and 20 seconds remaining in the first half. 29-0 Central on top. It's a 2nd and 10. Brakefield's back in the gun. And gives it off to Irby. Beg your pardon, Botbile. Botbile takes it to the line of scrimmage. Gives Brody Diaz a 3-foot ride and falls down there. Call it 2. Botbile 18 carries, or 8 carries, beg your pardon, 8 carries and 19 yards. There will be quite a large yardage disparity at the half.
Yes,
Pig has thrown for 180 in the first half.
All right, now Park Hills has pretty well dominated the first half, it's safe to say.
45 seconds now remaining in the first half, and for Fredericktown, you just have to get to the half here. They'll look to hand it off on the jet sweep to Mason Proffer. Proffer with a good stiff arm, turns that left corner and rushes forward for 7 yards. That's a good, tough run by Mason Proffer.
He's close to first down. Looks like he ran out about a yard shy of it. See where they marked the ball. He's going to be a yard short. They're going to be 4th and 1.
Proffer came into the ball game with 4 carries, 16 yards. A good, tough 8-yard run there. So 28 seconds. The clock has stopped because he went out of bounds. I guess you got to go for it here, right?
Oh, definitely.
I mean, just a yard. Terry Brakefield operating the system here. 4th and a yard for Fredericktown. They've got it at their own 45-yard line. Last time they gave it up in their own territory, but it was at the 30, and Central scored 1 play later. Timeout of the field. 28 seconds remaining. They'll talk it over, and we'll take a little break here. Step aside, and we're back after this on Parkland Sports Live. Fredericktown going for it on 4th and 5. Terry Brakefield whips it over the middle of the field. The distance was going to be just about right, but couldn't connect with Caden Crump. And Mike Reeves, a delay of game perhaps, maybe cost Fredericktown a first down there.
And I understand where they're at, what they're wanting to do, but I thought maybe the delay of game was because they weren't going to go for it. Obviously, it wasn't the plan. They took the delay, and then it cost them 5 yards. And, I mean, what do you think of your Central here? This is a case, I think, more looking at things down the road instead of this game. This play coming up, this series has nothing to do with this game. If you want to go for something, it may be, hey, we get in a game that's close, we got 30 seconds, what do we want to do with it? We'll see if they elect to do much or just take this thing into the half?
I'd say they're probably just going to take a knee and let the time expire. Less than 24 seconds to go. Take a knee and be happy with what you did the first half and go in for intermission.
Consecutive possessions. Central has taken control in Fredericktown territory. It was a turnover and interception on the last possession at the 30-yard line. It was a Brody-to-Brody touchdown, Pig to Cole in one play. This time they get it back on downs at the 40-yard line. 23 seconds remaining. Last year, Mike, I don't know if you recall, Fredericktown actually took a lead into the half last year. I believe it was 14-7. I just thought they played such an inspired game last year.
You know, Fredericktown's done some good things this game, especially on the defensive side of the ball, but then Central comes up with that big play.
Mm-hmm. Central, it feels like Central's won all the big downs, doesn't it, Coach?
Yes.
Twins to each side for Central. Brody Pig back in the shotgun. Whips a pass over to the right side, but this one can't connect and ends up on the ground. Pig's putting up some good numbers in the first half, though. He's at 180 through the air and 28 on the ground, so he's over 200 total yards here in the first half of play. 20 seconds remaining in the first half, 29-0. Central on top. Karis Foster in the slot to the left side. Brody Cole is the wide receiver. On the right side, you've got Graff and Fowler. And Pig's back to pass, and he sails this one down the middle to Karis Foster, grabs it to the 15, to the 10, he cuts back, to the 5, to the end zone, and a touchdown. Central Rebels, 40 yards this time. Took him only 2 plays, and Brody Pig is having a night. Let's check out this one on the replay, Coach.
I think Foster's just the inside man here. He runs a post pattern, and Pig hits him mid-stride, and he stops, strikes out a few players, gets in the end zone, and down he goes again. Big night for Foster. Seemed like, how many times, what is that, 3 touchdowns for him?
Yeah, 3 straight touches.
Yeah, and again, they need to give the ball to him more.
Something I'd like to point out too, Coach, when Pig went back to pass, that was a deep route over the middle. It took a little bit of time to develop, and Fredericktown never got close to him. The offensive line did a nice job there.
They did. Park Hill's been doing a very good job of execution tonight.
So Central running away a bit here in this first half, 36-0, 11.4 seconds. They got it with 23 seconds remaining. So that drive took them 12 seconds. Their last drive, Coach, took them about 10 seconds with 1 play. So in about 24 game seconds, they've scored 14 points.
Big plays, big plays. Like I said, they've driven the ball when they needed to, and they come up, in some critical 4th down situations. They picked up some big yardage on those, and some real backbreakers.
I respect what Steve Williams is trying to do, though. If you are trying to win the game and not just trying to keep it close, then maybe you're punting everything.
Exactly.
But I think he's trying to send the message to his guys, we play to win, guys.
We're here to play, not to run, not to go 3 and out. We're going to try our best, and that's what the Fredericktown Blackcats are definitely doing.
Evan Neff kicking it off for Central. You've got Bot Bile back to receive along with Blake Terry Brakefield. The kick is to Botbile. He has it at the 17. Comes along the near right sideline, cuts back. A good return by him out to the 38-yard line. Fredericktown's done a pretty nice job blocking those kickoff returns. 4 seconds remaining here in the first half. So barring a penalty, you would figure the final play of the first half here. And right after that, we'll hear from Mike Reeves and Kory Schweiss. I would have to think got to be a thrilled head coach. Fredericktown to run one more play here. And they get into wind the clock formation. Unfortunately, this isn't victory formation for them. They'll take a knee and send it to the locker room. 36-0 is our halftime score. A thriller last year, but so far over the first half of play, it's all Central Rebels as we head to the field with Mike Reeves and Kory Schweiss.
Awful lot of things did go your way. You made some big plays. Just your overall thoughts on that first half.
Well, honestly, I'm proud of the receivers. A lot of people, maybe including myself, our receivers are making plays for us, and that's big because if we can do those things and Brody gets more confidence throwing it like he is in this first half, we'll be a little bit more dangerous. So that's good for us.
In terms of execution on fourth down, 2 really big fourth down plays for you.
Yeah, the one was a great call by Coach Bridges, good execution by Fowler to get to the chains. The second one was another great call, but really a great read by Brody Pigg on the throw, and great catch by Brody Cole on the catch, and got us inside the 5 where we can punch it in.
See you postgame.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Guys, that's the head coach of the Central Rebels, Kory Schweiss. His club, a 36-point first half and a shutout pitched on defense here.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. Great work there. It's time to head to our Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center halftime show, providing mental health services since 1903 in Farmington, serving over 350 patients with over 1,000 employees. One of the largest employers in St. Francis County and growing. Find out how you can become a part of their family by scheduling an interview today at dmh.mo.gov. Or give them a call, 573-218-6800. Coming up on the Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center halftime show, we will have a check of the numbers, some second half adjustments, and we'll hear from the visitor in this matchup tonight, Steve Williams from the Fredericktown Blackcats, as we step aside here at the half on Parkland Sports Live.
Why do so many people like working at the Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center?
The pay is awesome. What we do for our clients is awesome. The coworkers that we have, the staff, everybody is just, they're all welcoming.
I feel very supported. It's a great network of people that we have working here. We really work together, I think, to try to improve the lives of those that we serve.
The insurance is phenomenal. The cost is minimal. They're good to us. And the benefits are so great, you can't beat it.
Apply today.
When comfort matters, count on Capayas Heating and Cooling. Proudly serving St. Francis and surrounding counties, they are your local Bryant Factory authorized dealer, delivering top quality heating and cooling solutions for your home or business. Founded in 2004 by Chuck Capayas, a family-owned and operated company that you can trust. Visit capayasheatingandcooling.com today. Capayas Heating and Cooling in Farmington, 756-1224.
Marching Rebels begin their competitive season at the Farmington Invitational on September 20th. Good luck, Marching Rebels. Great show tonight. Thank you.
Do you often ask others to repeat themselves? Is the TV volume creeping up higher? Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Melton, and it could be time to have your hearing checked. Hearing loss happens gradually, making it hard to notice. At Hearing Care Partners, we offer thorough hearing evaluations that uncover even subtle changes in your hearing over time. Early detection can improve your hearing and your life. Start prioritizing your hearing today. Schedule your appointment now at hearingcarepartners.com. At Hearing Care Partners, we listen so you schedule your appointment now at hearingcarepartners.com. At Hearing Care Partners, we listen so you can hear.
Since 1941, Busenbark Flooring has been Southeast Missouri's trusted name in flooring. This family top quality with countertops, kitchens, and bathrooms, all with expert installation. Need to haul it? Busenbark Trailer Sales has you covered. Come see the large selection of dump trailers, equipment haulers, goosenecks, livestock trailers, and more. Visit busenbarkflooring.com and busenbarktrailersales.com, or stop by and see everything at the Fairgrounds exit on Highway 67.
Looking for top quality custom sportswear and activewear? Look no further than Nouveau Athletic. Nouveau Athletic blends innovative design with affordability, revolutionizing activewear for athletes, teams, and enthusiasts alike. From affordable, high-quality team practice wear to specialty sublimated activewear, Nouveau Athletic has grown to become a leader in sportswear and the industry, especially in cheer. Nouveau Athletic, where passion meets quality in every stitch.
For Nouveau Athletic custom apparel locally, contact Tia Cunningham at 573-701-6015.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every time you come to see us. We love what we do, and we would love to take care of you. There's no need to be frustrated with your health care. If you're tired of what your pharmacy is not doing for you, then stop waiting in line and come see us today. We have 6 locations across Southeast Missouri, so Google us to find the store nearest you or visit parklandrx.com. Parkland Pharmacy is a local pharmacy at its finest.
It's an MAFC showdown here on Parkland Sports Live in Park Hills, but over the first half of play, it was all Rebels, 36-0. And early on, Coach, the Rebels took the ball, went on a long drive, ate some clock, scored it. Fredericktown ensued on a long drive themselves, but their drive stalled out initially, even though they were able to eat some yards. And since then, it's really been Central.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, if Central made adjustments or it just – Fredericktown just wasn't getting that many opportunities. I mean, they went on that long drive and turned the ball over in downs, and they got it back, and it was 4 and out. They went for it on 4th down, which, trying to make something happen. And then the next play, they're intercepted, and then the next thing you know, they're down 4 or 5 touchdowns, and it just makes it tough. I'm sure the Fredericktown kids got their daubers down a little bit. I mean, it just Central made some big plays. They were very successful. They kept the ball away from them. Their kids have got to be tired. Again, after playing the game, coaching the game for all the years I did, both teams are out there, but you're going to get tired defensively a lot more so than what you are offensively, because on defense, all 11 of your kids better be hustling to the ball, where I'm not saying offensively you can take a break, but you get your block made and you can hustle to the ball, but you're still not exerting that energy or effort that you do on defense. So it's going to tire you out a lot more. And obviously Fredericktown's defense has been on the field almost that whole first half.
Coach, Central was able to clean up their turnover problems from last week, and I think their quarterback, Brody Pigg, has been fantastic tonight.
Oh, yeah, he's done a great job. And, again, talking about, being tired on defense, a lot of their players as soon as they're done on defense, they go over to the offensive side of the ball. And if they're dragging a little bit, they're not going to be as effective running offensive plays as if they'd be a little bit fresher. So, it's just kind of Central's kind of wore them down, and they've been successful. They've driven the ball. They've gotten some critical fourth down situations themselves and come up with some big plays. And, and that's after Fredericktown had stopped them for maybe three plays or whatever, hoping to get the ball back, and Central turns it into a big play first down. It'll get anybody's dauber down after a while, but, I'm sure Fredericktown's going to come out enthused. They get the ball to start second half and see what they can make out of it, see if they can go and drive of their own.
Few scores to pass along to you. Farmington leading Poplar Bluff late in the first half, 28-7. So Brent Eckley looking to go 3-0 in his first 3 games as the Farmington head coach. And, Coach, you were telling me that St. Genevieve's looking good early on.
St. Genevieve's leading at halftime, 14-0 down at Kennett. Other than that, that's all I've heard so far.
All right. Kennett actually in this Class 3 District 1 with Central, and they are right behind Central in that 3 spot. So St. Genevieve could help out the Rebels a little bit.
Yes, they could. Kennett, I think, was 1-1 after their first 2 games. So Central, I don't know who Dexter was playing tonight. Park Hill's right behind Dexter, and Central continues to improve like this. They look pretty impressive on the night. Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and check out our halftime numbers, and it's a pretty big disparity, Coach. 282 yards for the Rebels and just 40 for Fredericktown.
Yeah, it's Central hasn't gotten a running game going very much tonight. Credit Fredericktown's defense for stopping a run, but boy, they've really been successful passing the ball tonight. Pigg's done a good job getting the ball to his receivers. There's been a lot of yards made after the catch. There's been some big plays, some real good catches. That first 46-yarder they had in the opening quarter. I mean, what a throw and what a catch. It wasn't one of those backyard catches, what I call them. It was just a well-executed play. The kid caught it on his fingertips over his head, and this made an outstanding play.
And I don't want to say that Pigg has thrown it into coverage, but he's thrown it to a few players who were covered well, but Pigg put it in the only place he could, and his receivers came up with the ball.
The long touchdown that they had the second quarter, Fredericktown was right in the kid's hip pocket. They made a heck of a play and a heck of a catch, and that stuff's hard to defend.
Let's take a look at the individual numbers now. As we said, 282 for Central all told. 220 of those came through the air. Brody Pigg was 14 for 17 through the air for a pair of touchdowns. So great work by him. On the ground, Pigg also leads the Rebels in rushing. He has 7 tries for 28 yards and a touchdown. August Black with just 7 yards on 5 carries. Karis Foster has 2 touchdowns in only 4 carries. Pretty efficient, if you ask me. He's got 23 yards. And then Nick Fowler has 1 try for 4 yards. Fredericktown Blackcats, well, I guess you could say they have balance. 21 yards through the air and 19 on the ground. They just don't have a lot of them. Zach Botbile has 8 carries for 9 yards. You've got Mason Proffer with a couple of tries and 15 yards. And then Terry Brakefield, just like Central's quarterback, leads his team in rushing. BTB leads his team in rushing as well. 2 carries for 19 yards for him. He completed 3 passes out of 8 tries for 21 yards and did throw an interception. So we'll have running clock to start the second half. If you're Central, boy, business as usual and probably going to work through your roster if things keep up like this. If you're Coach Steve Williams, though, what are you looking for in the second half out of your squad?
I'm sure he's talking. Steve's very, very positive, man. I'm sure he's in there rallying his troops to come out. Guys, we got the ball. Let's go out and make some noise. And so, Fredericktown's kids, one thing that I've seen over the last very many years, no matter who was a head coach, is their kids will come out to play and, battle through some adversity at times, but they're not gonna tuck their tail and quit. I'm looking for them to come out and try and get something going here in the second half. And I think this first series that they get the ball is going to dictate a lot what goes on in this game. If they're able to get a couple of first downs, their kids are going to say, hey, we're moving the ball, let's get back in this game. And, it might be a tussle here the second half, but Central obviously won that first half pretty dominantly. So.
And I think when you're talking about what you see out of Fredericktown, and you talked about the toughness that they display, they certainly didn't shy away from a physical battle. They'll come out and hit you.
No, there were some good hits. It's just a matter of Central that made some outstanding executions on offense that half. And, of course, defensively they played very well too. Didn't give up anything. Fredericktown's going to have to come out and pick up a couple first downs here to start the game. Otherwise, it could be a longer night for them than what the first half was.
36-0 here at the break. Central leading Fredericktown on Parkland Sports Live. We'll hear from Steve Williams as he comes back out onto the field when Fredericktown returns from our man on the field, Mike Reeves. But right now, let's take a timeout during this halftime show brought to us by Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center. We're back after this on Parkland Sports Live.
Why do so many people like working at the Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center?
The pay is awesome. What we do for our clients is awesome. The coworkers that we have, the staff, everybody is just, they're all welcoming.
I feel very supported. It's a great network of people that we have working here. We really work together, I think, to try to improve the lives of those that we serve.
The insurance is phenomenal. The cost is minimal. They're good to us. And the benefits are so great, you can't beat it.
Apply today.
When comfort matters, count on Capayas Heating and Cooling. Proudly serving St. Francis and surrounding counties, they are your local Bryant Factory authorized dealer, delivering top quality heating and cooling solutions for your home or business. Founded in 2004 by Chuck Capayas, a family-owned and operated company that you can trust. Visit capayasheatingandcooling.com today. Capayas Heating and Cooling in Farmington, 756-1224.
The Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center halftime show right here on Parkland Sports Live. Mike Reeves all over the field, near side, far side, all over the place. Going to get the halftime thoughts of head coach Steve Williams as Fredericktown comes back on the field. And as Coach Stolzer reminded us, Blackcats trying to do something positive on that first drive. Just gained a little traction. 36-0 right now as we go down to Mike.
You look at the scoreboard, and I know what it tells us, okay? We've gone over that, but there were 2 or 3 really big plays that didn't go your way, kind of tilted things. What'd you see?
Well, we moved the ball first drive. We drive all the way down, don't finish it. That hurt us. Had a big return down 14-0, but big return down about the 20. Penalty that I've never heard of before, but that's fine. After that, we played hard. We were physical. We're doing fine, but we just don't finish. We either don't make a play when we need to, or we get tentative, and that's what we got to fix.
How difficult is it to spend as much time on defense as you had to, because they really had a lot of time with the ball?
It's real hard, second week in a row, and we've got to fix that offensively. And we had, like I said, the first drive was a nice drive, and we just didn't finish it, and then we got behind, and then it snowballed, and so we've got to go back in this drive. Hopefully we'll we'll take our time, move the football down the field, and give defense a break.
See you afterward.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, the Fredericktown Blackcats with us here at the half, guys. They're down 36-0. That is Steve Williams.
Thanks a lot, Mike. And Coach Stolzer, you pointed that out really at the end of that first drive by Fredericktown against the Central team. Who knows how many chances you're going to get in that first drive. You said you just really want to come away with points. They had a 1st and goal at the 5 and a penalty set them back.
Yeah, that pretty well took them out of their scoring chances there. They kind of nickel-dime the things down. They had a few 8-yard runs or this or that, but, being put back, put them back in about the 20 and goal to go, and that just took them out of what their bread and butter is, and anyhow. So that stalled, and like I said, like Coach Williams just alliterated, that they got to finish.
Let's do the Copias Heating and Cooling third quarter reset now. So looking for Fredericktown maybe to gain a little traction here. We'll talk a little bit about that. Copias Heating and Cooling, proudly serving St. Francis and surrounding counties. Copias Heating and Cooling, founded in 2004 by Chuck Copias with his wife Chris, sons Chuck, Eric, and Brian, and daughter Amy. A family-owned and operated company that you can trust to provide you with the best possible sales and service experience. They stand behind their work, committed to being here for generations to come. That's Copias Heating and Cooling. And something that I think Coach Williams brought up. Coach, we've seen the mobility from Blake Terry Brakefield. We've seen Zach Botbile has a little burst. He just said we have some good plays that we've strung together, but we just have to finish.
Exactly. And now the big thing is for Fredericktown is to get something going here after this opening kickoff for the second half.
Fredericktown has had some good kickoff returns. They've got Caleb Feltz back there to return, and Botbile. The best returns have come from Blake Terry Brakefield. And and Coach kind of alluded to it. It was actually a substitution penalty that nullified a return all the way back to the 38-yard line, and I'd never seen that before.
Backbreakers.
Yeah. So Central kicking it off. It's Evan Neff to boot it away for these Rebels, and this is a middle kickoff, and it's grabbed and secured by Connor McMinn on a fair catch. And Fredericktown will have the football with pretty good field position.
It's like about the 30-yard line.
Yeah. And who will be calling the shots for the Fredericktown offense? Looks like it'll be Blake Terry Brakefield. Once again, Kason Whitener came in for a series. A couple of pass attempts from him. He threw an interception, and so Terry Brakefield came back in the game. Brakefield with Bob Bile behind him. He's got one wide receiver to the right and one to the left with a wing back off to the right side as well. Bob Bile is captured in the backfield and thrown down. Double teamed and popped and goes nowhere. Rodney Greenwalt in on that defensive side for Central. A 3-yard loss by Bob Bile. 9 carries and only 6 yards for Zach Botbile. Brings up a 2nd and 13.
Central's big men really did their job up front that time, and the outside linebacker came up to help finish.
Feltz wide to the left. Man in the slot is Irby. And the flip pass off to the left side is incomplete. Kory Schweiss was complimentary of what Coach Williams and the guys are doing at Fredericktown. He says they run good stuff. They have the right people in the right places. He said the execution just hasn't come together yet for him.
No, it hasn't. Like I said, that their little out pass there was kind of behind him or whatever. It's, their philosophy's good. It's just a matter of execution.
So 3rd and long, 10-15 remaining in the third, 36-0. Central leading Fredericktown here. And Steve Williams had some of the same sentiments. We'll talk about that here in a moment. BTB rolls to the right side and flips it out and completes it. So a play that is well schemed that time that they complete to Mason Proffer. The difference is, Coach, if you do that on first down, you set yourself up.
Yes, for an easy thing that you can do. 3rd or 4th down, obviously here, Fredericktown's going to have to go for it.
A gain of 11 right there. It sets them up with a 4th and short, 4th and just a pair. Steve Williams says, I felt like we made a lot of great progress over the summer, and in fact played maybe better in the summer than we have here early on. He's trying to recapture some of that. Blake Terry Brakefield, the quarterback. And he fakes the jet sweep and picks up the first down.
That was big for Fredericktown right there. It's going to give them a little bit of momentum, plus they earned 4 more downs, and got to give their offense a little bit of spark.
That was a case, Coach, where that play call and the execution came together for him that time.
Definitely.
Well done by Blake Terry Brakefield, reading the defense on the jet sweep and then recognizing he's the one that had the hole up the middle. 8:50 and counting down here in the third. Fredericktown moves the sticks. They've got a 1st and 10 at their own 42. Terry Brakefield, the quarterback. He's got a running back off of his left hip. He's going to roll that pocket to the left side and run it himself. He feels like he has a seam, and he does, out to the 40-yard line and a gain of 8 yards. Well, I mean, you can tell just watching this young man for not very long, he is a good athlete.
Yes.
Initial contact by number 47, Brody Diaz.
John Norwood in there at running back, 5'9", 160-pound sophomore. He's got a couple of carries this year for 7 yards. And he's the one beside Terry Brakefield in the backfield. Nice gain that time by BTB. Gain of 8, and he gives it off to Norwood, but Norwood is planted at midfield. Have
like
mercy, Max
Looks
Woods.
like he ran into a wall there.
Whew. He did.
Still, like you said a while ago, they set themselves up for they got about 6, 7, 8 on the first down. They made an attempt there to pick it up. They still didn't get it, but they've only got a yard to go here, so they've got 2 shots to get the first down again.
Well, that's our hit of the game, I think, so far. Max Petrified Woods stood him up and put him down that time. 3rd and just over a yard to go. Terry Brakefield, the quarterback, gets the snap, fumbles it, tries to fall on it, can't do it. Max Woods covers it up. Well, there's that execution, Coach. Nobody was in the backfield. Yep. It's just a missed exchange. It was Woods that recovered it, and here's a little look at how this happened.
It's like there's some confusion in the backfield before the play even got going.
So a lot of times, Coach, they tell those running backs, don't grab the football, wait until it's in your belly, and then collapse on it. Was that a case of an early grab?
That's a tough one. It's a quarterback's reading the play, and excuse me, is he going to give it or keep it? And a little indecisiveness there, put the ball on the ground.
Backup quarterback Braden Patterson is in the ball game for the Rebels. He hands it off to backup running back Cooper Bess. So Central starting to kind of work that depth on their team, give those second teamers a chance. And really, seems like good teams, Coach, are built by starters. I think good programs are built on situations like this. You get those second teamers some varsity experience out there, and they're that much more ready for when it's their turn.
Exactly. If your starters can put some points on the board and allow your second and third teams, all your reserves to come and get some experience, that bodes very big for any program.
Pass is complete to Brody McIntyre. He's got it for a 4-yard gain. Braden Patterson completing his first pass attempt. We saw him throw one pass last week, Coach, just one. It was a trick play.
Yes,
it was a pass backward to him, who then he threw across the field in overtime to August Black for the touchdown, tied it up. Central wins it on the extra point at Jefferson. Patterson does a nice job grabbing that one with one hand.
High snap. Still picked up a couple on it.
Pretty good job by Patterson just to get back to the line of scrimmage that time. He's able to actually gain a yard. And here's a 4th down for Central. They feel really good about Braden Patterson's skills as well. Of course, they have an 8th grader here at Central that's coming up. They feel like is going to be a great quarterback candidate as well. It happens to be Kory Schweiss' youngest son. Patterson flips it out to the Near sideline off to his left. Route was red, and Amos Pacinda broke well on it. Jumped in the air, but couldn't quite haul it in. Nevertheless, Fredericktown will get it back. On downs. In timeout by the officials, and we'll take it with them at 4:19 remaining in the third. 36-0 is our score. It's all Central. We're back after this on Parkland Sports Live.
When comfort matters, count on Capayas Heating and Cooling. Proudly serving St. Francis and surrounding counties, they are your local Bryant Factory authorized dealer, delivering top-quality heating and cooling solutions for your home or business. Founded in 2004 by Chuck Capayas, a family-owned and operated company that you can trust. Visit capayasheatingandcooling.com today. Capayas Heating and Cooling in Farmington, 756-1224.
With that too.
And we're back here on Parkland Sports Live, 36-0. Central on top. Central working their second teamers in there. The Fredericktown defense stands tough. Fredericktown will send who tonight is their backup quarterback, Kason Whitener, into the ball game. He hands it off to Zach Botbile. Botbile is met in the hole and stood up, no gain on the play. And that's a nice hit by Rodney Greenwalt. He came in last series, and he's already making a lot of big hits.
Yes.
Botbile, he's had some tough sledding tonight. 10 carries for 5 yards for him, so he's averaging a half a yard a carry. That's rough sledding. Kason Whitener and Blake Terry Brakefield, and Coach Williams almost kind of considers them co-starters. They're going to look for the long bomb this time. It's fought for, and is it actually caught? It is. They're going to say yes to Caleb Feltz. How about that? A gain of 23 yards.
When comfort matters, count on Capayas Heating and Cooling. Proudly serving.
It was running step for step, and the ball was underthrown. They both came back for it, but Fredericktown's kid fought for it and ended up coming up with it.
Let's take a look at the replay right here. And the officials are still discussing it. One official might be saying, no, it hit the ground. The other official might be saying, I think he got it. But here's a look at it as Whitener just kind of aired it out. It was kind of a duck, and Feltz had to come back for it. On replay, I kind of thought he got it.
It's hard to say. Well, they're saying pass interference on Fredericktown.
Oh, mercy. Oh. You almost feel bad for him. I mean,
yes.
Just little success. And
all right, give it to the kid. Let him have that was a close one.
Well, guys, the Fredericktown bench, and again, score notwithstanding. Coach, you've talked about it a lot. You're looking for good things for your team to do.
Yes.
Their discussion with the coaching staff, the players, and they're doing it in a very professional manner is, listen, they're both fighting for the ball. Our guy came up with it. There's no flag on that play. That's their argument as to why you let that play stand. So I was just going to let you know that's what they're looking at, is that nobody gained any advantage on the contact, and obviously another call that goes against them and a very frustrating one for them.
Great job by Wyatt Cawley on top, running our camera, getting those great angles for us.
Loss of down, too, on the play.
So 3rd and 21. Whitener rolls to the right side. He's got a mid-range route out there if he can squeeze it in. A terrific attempt by Irby, and he hauls it in at the 45. Tremendous job. A gain of 16 yards. Here's a look at this terrific catch.
Boy, he's just scrambling for his life, and what a catch by the receiver.
You can see right there at the sideline that he goes low to grab it and is able to cradle it, I think, with both hands as he's going down. What a great job. Whitener hasn't thrown necessarily the prettiest balls yet, but they're ending up in the neighborhood. Whitener looks left this time, breaks the pocket, spins, and down to the backfield and sacked. First man there that gets up from that one is Chad Cosby. So he's going to get credit at least for half a sack right there. There were 3 red shirts in on it.
And with that, Central takes back over possession of the ball.
Whitener with a loss of 4 yards there. So Central football, and guys, we're closing in at the end of the third quarter of play. Of course, it's running clock with that 35-plus point margin, and now only 33 seconds remaining in the third quarter. We thought we had just a few possessions in the first half.
Yeah, with the running clock, it's going to make the possessions even shorter this half.
In fact, the third quarter clock, guys, is lower than the play clock, and so we may be at the end of the third quarter before we ever want to play. And in fact, Coach Schweiss says, guys, come on over to the sideline. We'll play the fourth quarter coming up next. It's Central 36, Fredericktown nothing. We're back with your fourth quarter after this on Parkland Sports Live.
Do you often ask others to repeat themselves? Is the TV volume creeping up higher? Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Melton, and it could be time to have your hearing checked. Hearing loss happens gradually, making it hard to notice. At Hearing Care Partners, we offer thorough hearing evaluations that uncover even subtle changes in your hearing over time. Early detection can improve your hearing and your life. Start prioritizing your hearing today. Schedule your appointment now at hearingcarepartners.com. At Hearing Care Partners, we listen so you can hear.
Central football as we start the fourth quarter of play. The Rebels lead the Blackcats 36-0. They'll run a wide receiver on kind of an orbit motion right there. And it's Brody Cole taking the handoff, plunging into the middle of the line, and gains a pair of yards. Kory Schweiss does and he might not be calling these plays, but he's probably calling the personnel. He does a good job getting guys involved.
Oh, yeah.
Trips to the right, one man off to the left side. Patterson, the quarterback. He slings a pass over to the left side. It's complete for an 8-yard gain. And the pass is caught cleanly over there by Cooper Bess. Pretty good ball by Patterson. So Patterson has completed 2 passes for 11 yards. Cooper Bess with the catch right there. Patterson keeps it this time, works his way through the middle, has got a little bubble to run through, and he's down to the 25-yard line on a gain of 9 yards. Patterson with a couple of carries and 10 yards. 10:50 and counting down in the fourth quarter. 36-0 Central on top here. They've got their second teamers into the ball game here. They'll run 3 wides to the right side, 1 man off to the left. Brody McIntyre in that slot. Cooper Bess out there. Brody Cole we see as a wide receiver. Patterson, the quarterback, operating the offense right here. He'll flip it over to the left side to McIntyre. McIntyre wiggling through the defense. He's inside of the 20, down to the 18 on a gain of 8 yards. I like, how sometimes, Coach, they'll put the backups in, and, if the game's a little bit out of hand, then they'll just really kind of shut down the playbook, and I get that as respect to the other team. But I also kind of like, when those backups get in sometimes, they are letting them to run the offense, so they really kind of do get that true experience.
You want to get your quarterback some experience throwing the ball, and, Kory's not trying to run the score up on Fredericktown. I guarantee you that. It just, gets their kids some experience or whatever. They're not by no means trying to add insult to injury or whatever, however you want to deem it, run the score up.
Yeah.
But just give your kids some experience and let them play as well.
Brody Cole's had himself a nice night. 4 catches and 96 yards. And, guys, we'll be looking toward the end of this ball game for our Domino's Pizza player of the game and our Pettis Automotive player to point to. Central football, they're working on a 2nd and 3 at the 18-yard line of Fredericktown. Patterson keeps it through the middle. He goes to the 10, dives for the 5-yard line, and a gain of 15 yards by Braden Patterson. Patterson has only 4 carries. He's not been in there that long, but he's got 33 yards rushing already. He's got a couple of completions for 11 yards passing. Patterson continues his work in there. Brady Wells is the running back beside him. Instead, they'll hand it off to McIntyre, who dives for the end zone and gets down to the 1 yard line. Gain of 4 yards. Central threatening the end zone once again here.
Kind of looked like the same almost kind of route that Foster had. His 2 touchdowns, started to the right and cut back to the left.
It is. So Brady Wells, the running back, off the right hip of Patterson. They're going to run a motion to McIntyre once again. They get him the ball once again. He's trying to tuck it up between the guards right there. Falls just shy of the end zone. So obviously the senior, Brody McIntyre, you don't know when you'll get an opportunity to kind of work him in to get him a touchdown, and they're trying to get him into the end zone there. So they've worked it to Brody McIntyre. And now here's Braden Patterson, the quarterback. He takes it himself and plunges into the end zone for the 1 yard score for Central. 8:30 remaining in the fourth. It's Central 42 and Fredericktown nothing. Pretty nice job by the B team, Coach.
Yes, it was. They moved the ball, mixed a little bit of pass in with the run, and their kids doing a good job getting off their backs, really ran hard, and they were rewarded with the touchdown, of course.
And here's Braden Patterson taking into the end zone, just tucks behind that line and muscles his way through. Central sends the extra point up and through off the right leg of Devin Graff, and the Rebels lead the Blackcats 43-0. Here you got your kickoff coming up on the other side of this timeout on Parkland Sports Live.
Since 1941, Busenbark Flooring has been Southeast Missouri's trusted name in flooring. This family-owned business features top quality carpet, tile, and hardwood, along with countertops, kitchens, and bathrooms, all with expert installation. Need to haul it? Busenbark Trailer Sales has you covered. Come see the large selection of dump trailers, equipment haulers, goosenecks, livestock trailers, and more. Visit busenbarkflooring.com and busenbarktrailersales.com. Or stop by and see everything at the Fairgrounds exit on Highway 67.
Well, Central's B team does a fine job of executing, mixing the pass and run. They take it down the field, put it in the end zone. Braden Patterson leading the charge right there. Mike Reeves, red shirt's looking pretty good down there.
Without doubt, then they look that way. Since honestly they stopped Fredericktown on their first possession, it tilted then and hasn't changed. Guys, I've noted something being down here, and you probably can't see it, nor would it catch your eye, but it's non-related to the play on the field. I'm going to share it with you here in just a second.
All right. Bob Bile has it, but it goes in and out of his hands. He just has to fall on it. Fredericktown will start this drive at the 21, Mike.
All right, I'm not going to ask you guys to actually give me a number, but if you look right in front of you on the track, just give me a guess as to the number of cheerleaders, pom-pom squad type group that Park Hills Central has cheering for their team tonight. Just give me a quick number. Just give me a guess.
There's a whole phalanx.
Okay, there we go. We'll go with that. Guys, Fredericktown, and I talked to their cheerleading sponsor across the way, they have 3 cheerleaders this season.
Wow. Oh, mercy.
And I said, is this, they knew this coming in and said, yep, they wanted to be on a squad. They knew they were the only 3, and they are over there. They are cheering. They are leading the fans on to what they can in a game that hasn't been competitive from their team's perspective. But I thought, we talk about the players all the time and the desire to play the game, and to be a group of only 3 on the field and still say, yep, we're going to go out every night and we're going to do our thing, I found that to be very interesting. So they have 3 this year.
Good for them.
I hope they're appreciated. John Norwood running that one for Fredericktown. Norwood's getting some time here in the second half. Good 7-yard gain by Norwood. Norwood, just a sophomore. Snap goes down on the ground. It is covered up, though, by Fredericktown. It was Kason Whitener who hopped on top, and golly. Once again, Coach, a positive play followed by a negative play, and instead of looking at a 3rd and 1 or 2, now you're looking at a 3rd and 12.
You almost hurt for those kids. They got something good going, and an errant snap over the head of the quarterback. Then he goes back and falls on it, makes sure he recovers it, but, nets a minus 11 yards for him, so.
4 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in our contest. The timeout on the field, he'll step aside with him. It's all Central tonight. 43-0 over Fredericktown. Back after this on Parkland Sports Live.
Looking for top quality custom sportswear and activewear? Look no further than Nouveau Athletic. Nouveau Athletic blends innovative design with affordability, revolutionizing activewear for athletes, teams, and enthusiasts alike. From affordable, high-quality team practice wear to specialty sublimated activewear, Nouveau Athletic has grown to become a leader in sportswear and the industry, especially in cheer. Nouveau Athletic, where passion meets quality in every stitch.
For Nouveau Athletic custom apparel locally, contact Tia Cunningham at 573-701-6015.
Parkland Pharmacy is out to prove that local independent pharmacy is alive and well. We work hard at giving you an excellent experience every.
Okay. That's a 3rd and long for Fredericktown. Kason Whitener is in at quarterback for the Blackcats. And he's got a pump fake and now looking for somebody deep, but it's all covered up, and Whitener has to break the pocket and run himself, crossing the 20 to the 22-yard line. He gained some positive yards, but not near enough. A gain of 3 for Whitener.
Central's got some new jerseys in after that timeout.
Evan Neff out there, the kicker, in at a linebacker position. Central going
sending
a little bit
some
deeper.
More reserves in there.
Yeah. David Grayson checking in. Carter Sellinger, Ben King, all going out there for Central. You've got Eli Roper headed out there for the Rebels. And a timeout now on the field. 3:58 remaining in here in the 4th. And guys, let's keep it right here. And we could come up certainly with some candidates here. Our Domino's Pizza Player of the Game. We'll announce it afterward, but I'm telling you guys, I really like what Brody Pigg did in the first half for the Rebels.
He threw some very nice balls, and like I said a while ago, he did make some nice runs on the night, and offensively, he was an integral part of Central's offense, obviously.
Might have been his best game so far. He was really tremendous in that first half of play. He threw for 220 yards in the first half and ran for another 28 and a touchdown.
Yeah,
so I think he'd be a nice candidate.
Kind of a no-brainer in my book.
Yeah, a little bit. 4th and 9. Blake Terry Brakefield is on the field for the Blackcats to punt this away at the 3:58 mark of the 4th quarter. 43-0. It's Central on top here. Central will send Brody McIntyre back to receive. McIntyre is set up at his own 45-yard line. Snap is good to BTB, and he gets it off cleanly with a good top spin punt. Picks up a Fredericktown hop, and here's Brody McIntyre with a middle return and swung down right at about that 45-yard line. Guess who made the hit right there? He's on special teams now. That's Connor McMinn. I like what I've seen out of him tonight. He's 140 pounds, but he's throwing that 140 pounds all around this football field. Yeah.
He's a tough player.
3 minutes and 30 seconds counting down. It's been a running clock here in the second half as Central was able to gain that 36-0 halftime lead. Or I beg your pardon, it was 36-0 at the half. It was 36-0 at the half, and then built it up to 43-0 now. Fredericktown showed a little promise on its first drive of the game, but hasn't really been able to establish or reestablish much of that traction after that. Central now working deep into its depth as the snap goes between the legs of Walter Quinton, and he becomes the 3rd quarterback of the night for the
Looks like he lost about 8 on that miscue.
Hey, 3rd string quarterback in a varsity game, you got that there's some nerves going on.
Nah. It's always a big team win when you can clear your bench and everybody gets a piece of the action.
So Walter Quinton running the show for the Central Rebels. And he hands it off.
Quincy Walter.
Quincy Walter. How about that?
Coach, to follow up a little bit on what you're talking about, players getting in the game, and I noted the Central coaching staff as I came over to their side with the group that's on the field now going to the players on the sideline, a lot of them starters, of course, and saying, cheer for your teammates. Get up here and cheer for them.
Yeah.
Show that you're behind them because, you kind of feel like as a starter, my job's done. It's 43-0. But it's like the whole team concept. I like that from the coaches.
So you've got Walter Quinton and Quincy Walter in the backfield. I'm sure that I won't get those two confused. There's Walter Quinton rolling to the right side, and he throws it out to the right side. Pass is incomplete, intended for Eli Roper there. Fourth and 21 here for the Rebels. But all the red shirts seeing the field tonight. Just a minute to go in this one. And then we'll wrap up the night with our Mac Tech postgame show here on Parkland Sports Live. Rebels setting up to punt it away. 7 Neff. The snap is over the head, and it'll be Fredericktown football, the 6-yard line. If they can hustle out there and get a playoff, they might be able to score before this thing's over.
Call a timeout.
Yeah, they have to call a timeout because you've got the running clock. And here's the opportunity for Fredericktown. All the Black Cat fans are saying, just give us a couple plays here and get in there, guys. Of course, if you're Central, you never want to lose the shutout. I mean, that's understandable.
But on the other hand, too, give the Fredericktown Blackcats a little bit of hope. And they go home tonight, and one of the last things they did offensively was scored. That'll make for a little bit more pleasant weekend for them.
Yep. So Fredericktown taking the timeout to stop that running clock, and we're at the 31-second mark. 43-0. It's been all Rebels in this one. It was a thriller last year, but just really wasn't this year. And this will be 18 straight for Central over these Blackcats. So you've got John Norwood, second teamer, running back out there, and Jay Sean Russell is the quarterback. He becomes the third quarterback in the game. He goes to Norwood. Norwood trying to plow through. He digs for the 3-yard line. Will Fredericktown call a timeout? Nope, 21 seconds remaining in the ball game. And you've got Norwood as the running back once again. And Fredericktown going to get off one more play. Jay Sean's got it. He's trying to dig for the goal line. On the 2-yard line, he stopped. And our clock counting down 4, 3, 2, 1. And Central going to win this MAFC battle. Going away here tonight, 43-0. So a tip of the cap to the Rebels coach who wanted to clean up some of their turnover problems. They certainly did that, and they executed well tonight en route to this convincing victory.
Yeah, their first teamers, especially offensively, really did a nice job for Central tonight. Like I said, they drove the ball. They made big plays to pick up a first down when they needed to. Actually, heck of a lot more as they got big plays. And, from early on, if they capitalized on turnovers and went for the gusto and got it. And they just did a lot of good things tonight.
These Rebels will improve to 3-0 on the year. They aren't ranked in the state. They're getting points. They actually have the 12th most points. This might be enough to get them into the top 10. They'll stay at home against St. Dominic, and that meeting at St. Genevieve a week after that. For the Fredericktown Blackcats, they'll move forward looking for their first win of the year, but they kind of go right out of the frying pan and into the fire as they've got the Valley Catholic Warriors coming up next week. We'll hear from the coaches coming up here in just a little while. We'll break down the stats for you. And, of course, we will have the Domino's Pizza Player of the Game and the Pettis Automotive Player to point to all on our MacTech postgame show. MacTech ready to roll up your sleeves and dive into a hands-on career. Mineral Area College ready for you. Their MacTech industry and technology programs are all about getting to work and making things happen. Welding, HVAC, auto tech, construction, and more. Take the first step to a fulfilling career in a MacTech program. Apply today at mineralarea.edu. Let's take a time out, and we're back with your MacTech postgame after this.
Why do so many people like working at the Southeast Missouri Mental Health Center?
The pay is awesome. What we do for our clients is awesome. The coworkers that we have, the staff, everybody is just, they're all welcoming.
I feel very supported. It's a great network of people that we have working here. We really work together, I think, to try to improve the lives of those that we serve.
The insurance is phenomenal. The cost is minimal. They're good to us. And the benefits are so great, you can't beat it.
Apply today.
Take a look at the final numbers in this one. 43-0. Central winner over Fredericktown tonight here in Park Hills. Fredericktown also, or rather, Central dominated the stat sheet as well. 321-84 all told. Let's break it down now. And Brody Pigg had a sensational first half with 220 yards passing. He had 28 yards rushing. He got the second half off. His replacement, Patterson, well, he had 4 completions for 33 yards. He did a nice job as well. Or he had four rushes, for 33 yards. He completed 2 balls for 11. So many players got involved for the Central Rebels. August Black, 7 yards. Quincy Walter and Walter Quinnen got some carries. Karis Foster with 4 tries and 23 yards. Brody McIntyre with a couple tries for 5. Zach Fowler had a carry for 4 yards. Even Brody Cole had a carry for a couple of yards. Karis Foster had a nice night receiving, 5 grabs for 56 yards and a score. Nick Fowler with 4 catches for 43 yards. August Black with only 2 catches tonight, but he had 63 yards receiving. Brody Cole with 4 grabs and 96 yards. Tremendous effort from him. Devin Graff caught a ball for 30. That was a touchdown. And then you had Bess coming in, caught a ball for 7 yards. Fredericktown Blackcats got 5 yard rushing from Zach Botbile on 10 carries. John Norwood tried a couple of times for 7. Mason Proffer with 2 carries and 15. And then Blake Terry Brakefield, he ran 20 yards on 4 tries. He completed 4 balls for 32 yards. Proffer threw a pass. Couldn't complete it. Caden Whitener completed a ball for 16 yards and also through an interception. So that's a look at the numbers. And guys, let's come up. Domino's in Farmington, Park Hills, Bonne Terre, Fredericktown, Potosi, and St. Genevieve, bringing you the player of the game. And guys, we kind of talked about it over the break, and we thought Brody Pigg kind of set the tone, threw the ball magnificently in the first half, made good decisions, threw for 220 in the first half, had some really pinpoint accurate throws. So we're going to go with Brody Pigg, the quarterback, and we'll see what Coach Schweiss thinks about all this now with Mike Reeves.
Big night for the Rebels. You do a lot of things well. I know you talked about cleaning some things up after last week. I thought you did a lot of those things you wanted to do. Scoreboard looks good. What'd you think?
Well, the big thing is we didn't turn it over. And defense obviously played well. We didn't start real well on defense. We let them move the ball down the field that first drive. Didn't think we played real well, particularly well on that drive. But we got a little bit of help there, and then the rest of the night we kind of played a little bit better. I thought our receivers, I said at halftime, I thought our receivers made some big plays for us. I thought Brody threw it well. Didn't think it was our best performance by our offensive line. So we got to give I think we took a step backwards there because we rely on those guys. Those guys are what's going to win us and lose us games. We were able to overcome it tonight because our receivers played so well and we made plays, but we got put backwards a little bit because we weren't executing some of our basic blocks, and our guys are better than that up front. So, again, hard to complain too much when you win like we did, but we could have played better.
In terms of how different your team will look moving forward if your receivers continue to do what they did tonight and improve as the year goes on, how much different does your offense look?
Well, it should get better each week. These guys are young, so every week that they play, they should be getting better. The big thing for us is we just got to keep improving. I don't know what the next 6 weeks will bring, but I do think we have a shot in our district. So if we continue to get better, at the end of the season, who knows? We may be in the same spot we've been the last handful of years. So that's the goal.
How much is Brody improving already at the quarterback position?
Quite a bit. There's still some things pre-snap that I didn't think he did particularly well tonight. He is throwing the ball way better than he was early in camp, and that's good because I think the other stuff, the throwing was what I was worried about mostly because the other stuff he'll learn as he gets experience. He's making strides for sure, and 3 games in, I'd say he played a pretty good game tonight for sure.
Got a 0 on the board for the opponent. What did you like about what your defense accomplished?
Well, keeping them out of the end zone is huge, and really after that first drive, they didn't. Our kickoff team, for the most part, had been doing a pretty good job keeping them, out of 4-down territory. You get them in 4-down territory. The last couple of years, we're kicking off, and they get 1 first down, and now they're going for it on 4th. We had them most of the time tonight where they only had 3 downs to get a first, and that makes a big difference. Those guys that can kick it in the end zone and start teams at the 20, that's a big advantage in high school football if you got one of those guys. Evan did a good job kicking off tonight. I thought we did a pretty good job getting our defense in good field position, and they took advantage of it. They made the plays when they didn't make them.
No, it's not always easy to know right after a game, but we noticed that Dakota had the knee injury. It appeared and did not play after the injury occurred and had a game, but we noticed that Dakota had the knee injury. It appeared and did not. Difficult time moving around out here. How important is he to what you do, and how much are you hoping that that's something that he can get through?
Yeah, that's going to be a big one if we lose him. He's one of our 4 captains. He's got a lot of experience. Hopefully, Rodney stepped in on defense, played really well. We got some offensive linemen that can step in, so we've got guys that can step in. But losing him just from a captain standpoint and what he brings to our team outside of football, much less what he does on the field. He's just a really good player, really good person. Hopefully, it's nothing serious. It didn't look real good, but I think I don't want to say because I'm not a doctor, but hopefully I don't think it's unstable. If that's the case, that's a good thing, but we'll have to wait and see. I think he took a helmet to it, so we're hoping maybe it's just a shot to the knee.
Congrats on a 3-0 start. Good luck moving forward. We'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot, Mike. I appreciate it.
Guys, there is Kory Schweiss, head coach of the Central Rebels. They are victorious tonight over Fredericktown, and terrific effort from his group.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. And Central will move forward with that 3-0 mark to face St. Dominic next week. Let's talk just a little bit about the Blackcats and the Pettis Automotive player to point to. Pettis Automotive player to point to, given to a different player over a game for making some plays that you can point for making.
Hey, I'm bigger than him. I ought to be able to do the same thing, and they'll feed off of that and usually try and get something going there. So, I think that ought to serve as a very inspirational thing for their whole team.
Yeah.
Guys, we're good down here on the field with Coach Williams, if you're ready.
All right, go ahead, Mike. Take it away.
I know what the scoreboard says, and we did this at halftime, so it says what it says. I know you're looking for more than just scoreboard results, though. What did you take from this one beyond what happened on the board?
Well, believe it or not, we were better on the offensive line, especially in the first half, than we've been all year. So we did see some bright spots there. Now, we didn't execute, especially when it came down to important plays, scoring plays, red zone, things like that.
Well tonight and not execute, or did you not play well? What did you see from a coach's perspective before you get a chance to look at tape?
Well, from what I saw, we did play well at times. It looked like we'd been coached. I told the coaches that after the game. I said defensively, they tried to do some things that we'd seen on film, and we actually stopped those things, and we did a pretty good job right there. Now, we gave up a couple busts on pass plays there late in the first half that hurt us, but we've got to continue to move the ball better offensively and get the ball in the end zone because obviously you're not going to beat anybody with no points. So we've got to do a much better job offensively.
We'll wrap it up with that. It's always good to see you, and best of luck moving forward for you.
I appreciate that. I'll take all luck I can get. Go Cats.
That is the head coach of the Fredericktown Blackcats. That's Steve Williams, longtime friend of mine, known him for a really long time. Awesome guy. He's going to get this thing going in the right direction, but they took it on the chin tonight.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. And Coach Stolzer, in your description of Coach Williams, said always positive guy. And, even Stolzer, in your description of Coach Williams, said always positive guy. And, even though they wind up on the wrong side of it tonight, he was positive to kind of conclude those comments.
That's what you got to do. I mean, you can't fault the effort of your kids. One thing I liked what he alluded to is, a lot of times kids, if things aren't going right, first thing they want to do is quit. But, I'm going to be biased as all heck because I coached football all those years. And, I think football is a good thing to teach life lessons. And, there's times where, as a player, you've got to admit too, Chad, you've probably thought about quitting whenever you were hot August practices or whatever, and if you're not feeling well or you're getting beat up by somebody twice, the thought crosses your mind, but hey, you learn how to stay with it and stay positive and give your best effort, and somewhere down the line that's going to pay off for you. It might be on the football field. If not on the football field, it's going to be somewhere down the line where things aren't going good with your job or whatever, but you stick your nose in there and you're able to support your family and keep going. And there's just a lot of life attributes that you can gain from playing any kind of sport. But like I said, I'm going to be biased for football because there's not a lot of sports where you wear about 40 to 50 pounds of gear and sweat and get tired and you got to do this and that. But like I said, there's a lot of life lessons to learn, and I've never talked to anybody who's regretted ever playing. As a coach all the years, I had players quit, and, I've always tried to talk them into it. And later on down the years, you'll see them somewhere or another, and they'll say, Coach, I wish I wouldn't have quit. And, of course, I always try to talk them in. But not once in 40 years of coaching did I ever have a kid come up, or any player, adult, or whatever, say, you know what, Coach, I wish I would have quit. So, it makes for a lot of good memories, a lot of good friendships and camaraderie in the years to come. So, they might have lost in the scoreboard tonight, but, I'm sure, like Steve said, they'll get together on Sunday, meet, look at the film and take the good and work on what they did bad, and, their kids will learn and profit from it.
Well put, Coach. Well done.
Yeah.
One more tip of the cap to our Pettis Automotive player to point to once again, and that was Connor McMinn. Well, our MVPs tonight, as always, our engineer Jacob Towers does such a great job for us, and Wyatt Cawley does such a great job with our camera work as well. Next week, we will be at another venue on Parkland Sports Live. We will have that Jackson at Farmington game, and I'm a little bit jealous of Mike and Greg Allen because that'll be a fun one.
It should be. Jackson's got a good team again this year, and of course it looked like Coach Eckley's put together a sound team over in Farmington his first year there, so ought to be a good one.
Our final score tonight for the final time is the Central Rebels improving to 3-0 with a 43-0 victory over the Fredericktown Blackcats, who fall to 0-4.